Coming to you live from the JRE Tobacco Aladino Mobile Studios, it's the Cigar Pulpit.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm the Bishop of the Burn, Nick, and today you are going to get our PCA preview. I am about to be joined by Shawn and Danny, and they are Team Pulpit 2026 for PCA. We are going to be going all around the trade show and getting you all the latest news updates, and we're going to try and find some unique perspectives of the show. It's like, you know, I've heard from you guys that you're not necessarily looking for just a commercial of everything new coming out from everybody. So I'm going to try and find some unique perspectives, something different about the trade show that maybe you don't get elsewhere. We'll see. I don't know. But we're going to be talking about what we're looking forward to and kind of what we're expecting and that sort of thing. So I'm going to go ahead, jump right into the interview, and I will catch you guys on the other side of that. And I'm joined today by Team Pulpit PCA 2026. We have returning Shawn Beaudry, and we have newcomer Danny Hicks. How you doing?
Doing great. Excited to be going to PCA.
It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time. Yeah. Shawn's being awful quiet now.
Now he is.
I'm being quiet?
It's like, I threw you the, like,
started.
Hey, you know, I know, but I thought, you know, you'd jump in and be like, hi, but you're just like, you know, whatever.
It doesn't make for a great video or great podcast, but
you got to think the audio side too, because there's two things happening at once here. It's like, ooh, you know, but anyway, so yeah, this is our opportunity to kind of reintroduce Shawn to the listeners again, and to introduce Danny to the listeners, since you guys are going to be at PCA helping me out with doing interviews and everything else. And so I figured this would be a fun opportunity to do that, but then also to take a look at some of the announcements that have come out pre-PCA to see what are we excited about and what are our thoughts going into this show. So I guess to start with, we should probably fire up cigars. So what's everybody smoking?
Well,
who wants to go first?
I'm going. Well,
Danny,
I'll go first.
Danny talked. Danny goes first.
Now we got a simple Oliva Serio.
Okay.
It's a nice, you know, it allows for conversation. I'm outside. I don't normally smoke outside, so it's okay if it goes out a little bit, but I can light it back up. It's a good one.
Where do you normally smoke if you don't smoke outside?
I've got it's kind of like what do you call it? Like a hovel. I've got a workshop in my garage that's got air conditioning that it's a little reminiscent of like a hermit's cave, I guess, but the lighting's better out here, and I have a webcam with my phone, so it's better.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the better lighting, so that's good. That's good. All right, and then Shawn, what have you got?
I have the American with the 250 banding, so torpedo. So I had a couple of these this past weekend, so I'm going to, since we're talking and I'm not really concentrating a lot on the cigar, I know what it's about and everything, so I'll start there.
Okay. And since we are doing a PCA preview, I figured I would smoke a cigar that is being, you know, kind of trumpeted and brought out at PCA and will be available right after PCA, and that would be the new Davidoff Puro Dominicano. This is the Perfecto size. It is a 5.5 by 50 Perfecto. And this features tobaccos from 6 different regions of the Dominican Republic. And I guess it's designed to feature the different or highlight the different tobaccos from the different regions and all the different varieties that they you know, they bring together. So I'm excited. This is going to be fun. This will be fun. So I want to thank the fine folks at Davidoff for sending that. I got a little care package, you know, today with that. And I was like, you know, why not? We'll smoke one of these today. It'll be fancy. Which, by the way, I guess for the listeners that are listening, in the spirit of full transparency, we are pre-recording this. This episode will come out on the Friday of PCA, the first day of PCA. But we are pre-recording this. So as we go through our, things that we're excited about at PCA, do keep in mind that we are pre-recording this, and so some announcements may have come out after we've recorded this, but before you hear it. And so if something really cool gets announced and we've not acknowledged it, that's why. So anyway, just figured
I was
I'd
going to say, aren't we fancy? I'm glad they sent it to you to review beforehand, because I didn't know you're running around buying Davidoffs. So
I don't run around and buy Davidoffs. That's the thing, and it's not so much anything about Davidoff. It's as much about my budget, So, but yeah, no, I was just as surprised as you. I got an email from UPS saying that I was expecting a package, and I was like, "Who the hell's sending me a package?" And it's like Davidoff of Geneva, and I'm like, "Score," So I'm not going to complain, but. Anyway, it's time to cut the cigar, and the official cutting is brought to you by 2guyscigars.com. That's the number 2guyscigars.com. Two Guys have been around for 40 years, and they are the trusted name in the cigar industry. Everybody knows Two Guys, but if you don't, please give them a try. You won't be sorry. Family owned and operated, 2guyscigars.com does the very best to provide a great selection, fair prices, and excellent customer service. So head on over to 2guyscigars.com for your next cigar purchase. Tell them that the Cigar Pulpit sent you. And remember, that's the number 2guyscigars.com. With that, I'm going to go ahead and cut my cigar. You got to hang out with all the guys from Two Guys this past weekend. Again, this is that timey-wimey wibbly wobbly thing where we're talking about something that happened 2-3 weeks ago, but you're going to hear it now. So yeah, anyway.
Yeah, it was a really great event. It was the big joke was Dave was actually relaxed, so at the expo, how spazzy and everything he is, or so nervous, I guess. He actually, because it was all on JC Newman. So they just had to do the show, which he does anyways, but he was really relaxed, and Mr. Jonathan was relaxed, and Ed is always relaxed. So,
yeah, I saw some pictures of Mr. Jonathan, and my God, the outfits.
What do you expect?
But it was the one with the vest and the sleeve, no sleeves.
Oh,
very Village People-ish. I was just kind of like, all right, okay, brave, very brave. Anyway, but hey, whatever.
Yeah, it is him. And then the only the thing is, when we got there, what was it, on Thursday afternoon? It was a beautiful afternoon. Nobody could get in their rooms yet, but he sat directly in the sun, and I'm like, a ginger in the sun you're going to explode. You're just going to burst into flames. Oh, that's not true. The sun's good for you. It's the sunscreen that's bad. I go, well, you're going to be hurting. His head got so burnt that he had to wear a hat for the rest of it. So nobody was giving him shit. So, but
yep. No, the sun is not. Trust me, my hair looks brown and a lot of gray, but it started very ginger. And let me tell you, I've got the ginger in me. And no, the sun is not my friend. Not for long periods of time.
But it's sunscreen that's bad.
Well, he's got a point. I mean.
And here comes Danny with he's got a point.
Yeah.
You can look forward to comments like that all night.
All right, well, let's get these cigars going here because I'm ready. I'm looking forward to this. Back to what we were talking about. No, I don't smoke a lot of Davidoff. I don't have the budget for that, and so that kind of leads into one of the things that I've kind of seen with some of these PCA announcements. I'm not necessarily noticing any of the super ridiculously high dollar, stupid stuff. You know what I mean? What was it last year that El Septimo had that we were all the humidor? It was like a Fabergé egg or some shit like that. Wasn't that what it was last year?
$20 million. Yeah.
I'm not noticing any extravagant bullshit being promoted this year.
Week before.
That's valid. We haven't seen anything like that yet. But
I think with the economics and everything that's been talked about and sent out now has been either on the budget way of things, or right in that I don't know, $12 to $18 range. So nothing crazy yet. So we're lighting then.
Yeah, go ahead and light.
I didn't know if the lighting was brought to you by.
Oh no, I got people to talk to this time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there we go.
There's the dirty little secret. The Aladino thing there is partially because Justo liked it so much that I had to take it from the Cigar Authority, but then also at the same time, nobody wants to hear me just going as I'm like lighting my cigar. So if I have somebody to talk to, then it hides the like noise, So it works
I don't know.
out.
I'm still a fan. I'm a fan of the cellophane still. So
Your throwback oldies right there. Boy, all right. I probably am going to thank him at another time earlier, but I'm going to thank him again because why in the hell not? He did a really, really generous thing for me, and so I'm gonna thank him again now. So if I thanked him already, here's another, and if I didn't, then I'm getting it, and then I'm taking care of it now. But listener Eric England reached out to me, and he inquired about getting my address to send some cigars. No offense, Eric, I've never met you before, so I wasn't really eager to give you my home address. So I gave you my P.O. box because I think that's the fair thing to do. I have a P.O. box for people that, I don't know. I don't know if you're going to be all like play mischief for me or if you're going to be like, cool. So I figure, let's give the P.O. box and whatever. And Eric, by God, you're a king among men because I've had people send me care packages before, little sampler things. I've had people send me cigars before. Nobody should do it. I'm not saying, I'm not advocating, I'm not dry begging, I'm not weaseling, I'm not anything, whatever we call it in the industry. I'm not saying that. I'm not asking for it. People just do it, and I appreciate it greatly. But Mr. England, he stepped it up in a way that I don't know if anybody's ever going to beat him. He sent, 6 cigars? I think 6 cigars. Hang on, let me bring up the list here because I texted somebody about it yesterday. And I was beyond shocked. 6 cigars. And in there was a rare pink sophisticated hooker. And I'm like, okay.
Nice.
Oh no. Oh no. Hold your horses there, buddy. We got
how'd
a
she fit in the box?
rare pink sophisticated hooker. We have the Kellner 80 anniversary, which it's not a cheap date.
Oh,
Davidoff Year of the
Yes.
Horse. We have a Opus X, and I'll be honest, I'm not a big Opus like fanboy to where I know all the different ones and everything. So for all I know, it's like I can't even read it in this page. Templo de Oro or something. I don't know. Anyway, it's another Opus. But then we had one. We had 2 that I didn't recognize the logo. I was like, what cigar is that? Then I started looking at the band and I see the word Padron. But then I see the word Fuente. And I'm like, no. He not only sent me
collaboration?
one, he sent me both of the collaboration cigars. One of each.
Okay. Did you have to send them feed pictures or anything?
Dude, no. There's no OnlyFans involved with this at all. I haven't sent any feet. I'm not gonna. I mean, nobody wants to see my feet. But my point is, like, Mr. England came out of nowhere with the most generous. I don't know how to thank this guy enough. I mean, like, those 2 cigars alone are ones that, like, I never even thought I'd ever see, much less have in my hand, much less have the ability to smoke at some point. And I almost am sitting, and as many times as I've come on this show and said, a cigar is, you should enjoy it, you should smoke it, blah, 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 and all this and everything. Boy, those are ones that I'm sitting back going like, oh, man, when the hell do I smoke these? So,
Well,
yeah.
that's the age-old question.
I know.
Well,
I
would the Padron Fuente collaboration. I mean, is he going to Pulpit Fest? Did he buy a ticket, or is he going?
I don't think he's bought a ticket yet, but it's very feasible he might have, or he might be.
Okay, that's where I would do those.
There
one
are
for him and one for you.
Got to give one out. He sent me both.
I don't know. He's very generous. If he needs my address, it's 1700 South McClellan, Marquette, Michigan. Feel free. I'll tell you what I think. So that is very generous. And I will not be doing the same. I'll send you some forum.
It was. Hey, JC Newman announced the 3-pack of the Havana Qs, also available at PCA. So yeah. Oh shit, that's funny. But no, I really wanted to give Eric a shout out and a big time thank you, because like that was totally out of left field and super unexpected. Generous doesn't even begin to describe it. So big thank you to Eric for that.
Yeah.
And,
definitely. I don't know. I would have special occasions. Do you have an anniversary show or anything coming up?
my anniversary is in August.
August? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do it that special occasion.
But I mean,
you know,
I don't even think it's like a 7-year anniversay. It's not even like a
who cares? You made it through another year.
Now look, I've got a particular stance when it comes to these fancy cigars, because the problem is if you have it on like your birthday or your anniversary show or whatever, you're trying too hard to enjoy it. It's kind of like going to a New Year's party. You're like, you're forcing yourself to have fun. Is it really fun?
That's valid.
There's going to be one of those moments where you're going to sit down and you're going to be like, I got some time. I'm going to smoke something. I'm feeling good. And you're like, that's the time. You just got to wait for that within the next like 3 months. Because if you don't smoke them, I will.
And I'll also say, as much as it might pain everybody to not hear my thoughts live as it happens, I don't even know if I want to smoke those on the show.
Yeah.
I would not.
Right? I kind of want to focus in on them entirely. I don't even want to like have any distraction, much less having to have the headset and be talking, especially a solo show where I'm constantly battling to either talk or keep the cigar lit. The last thing in the world I want to do is have to relight any one of those 6 cigars, much less the 2 collaboration ones,
Yep.
I have a great idea. Sunday night. Oh, good. Sunday night, let's get together around the fire pit on at PCA, and we can tell you.
I'll bring them all to PCA, and everybody can cherry pick. Right? Is that what? Yeah, that's it. Pass the box around and see what we want. It's like a key party, only with my cigars.
We can have Tony V chewing on one, and
there you go. Whatever he doesn't finish that night, he can save it for the next day. Yeah, no, I like it. We could have that cat from oh shit, what state did he come down from? You know what I'm talking about. The cat.
Well, he'll probably be listening to the show, because
I was gonna say he'll. Oh shit,
you have to go back and look.
I know. So. It's a year ago. All right. Well, you know what? Thanks for circling it back to the point of the show there, Shawn. So who wants to go first? Who wants to talk about a cigar they're excited or something they saw that they were looking forward to, and we're kind of anticipating. Or let me actually
Danny,
start.
You can go first.
Let me start. Well, and let me start with Danny. I got a different question for you. You've never been. Shawn and I have been before. You've never been.
Mm-hmm.
Going into it, what are you expecting? Like what are you thinking?
So I'm expecting some big crowds. I'm expecting noise. And more importantly, I'm expecting to see things that you just can't see anywhere else. Just cigars. Now they'll be out, of course, but that's what's interesting. It's that peek behind the curtain of seeing the wheeling and dealing a little bit and seeing what kind of stuff's being released. That's my impression. That's how I'm building it up in my head. It's not over the top, but I'm excited for it.
I think that's about accurate. I mean, let's be real. It's if you've ever been to a trade show for any sort of different industry, it's very similar to that. Lots of rows and rows of booths, lots of people all over the place. And a lot of everything's on display and this and that and whatever. So yeah, I mean, you get the opportunity to go in and see a bunch of stuff. In some cases, like a $20 million Fabergé humidor, yeah, you get to see something that's you're not going to see again, and but yeah, it's a lot of fun. But okay, all right. So you're kind of The one thing I will say is you got to stay at least one day right after the show ends and the usher people are like pushing everybody out the doors. You got to find a way to like hover in there for just a little bit until they turn the exhaust fans on, and you got to watch the room go from like what you thought it looked like all day long to just magically clear as all that smoke just comes out of the room, and you're like, oh shit, I've been walking in a cloud and I didn't even know it, because like you just get so used to it.
Wow.
It's
I'm a huge ventilation nerd, so I'm going to be really excited for that.
You've got this. You've got this. All right. Well, then what you've poured over the press releases that have been released so far. What's something you're looking forward to? To looking at, seeing, trying, whatever.
Well, Shawn, you want to go first, or?
No,
it's on you, Danny.
He defaulted to you. You're going first.
So I found the first one very quick that I was very excited about. Artista's announcement.
Okay.
So I was seeing that they've got it was the Buffalo 10, but they're coming out with a broadleaf version.
Yes.
And it was like speaking to me. It's a Toro, which is that's my Vitola. It's got the broadleaf, which I love. I'm a huge fan of everything that Artista puts out. And MSRP on the PCA site was like $6. So that was one. I feel like we're going to see a good amount of cigars coming down in price. I'll be surprised if we're seeing a lot of the $100. But I know I've never bought one, let alone am I going to buy one this year. But it was right out the gate when I was looking up different press releases. I was like, oh, Artista hit it out of the park for me so far.
I would agree. I had that on. I have a very long list, so I kind of packed a whole bunch on there so that, if let's say you guys both came up with ones that I had, I wouldn't be sitting here going, well, I had that one and I got nothing. But anyway, but I had that one on my list because I do like the Buffalo Tents. I mean, especially for the price point, they are a hard box press, which is not necessarily my personal cup of tea, but for the price, I can't beat it. And yes, to get it in a broadleaf, it's intriguing. So I'll be curious to see how that goes.
Yeah.
Shawn, we got something.
Yeah, that was on my list too. But okay. I've been intrigued by the whole. I don't know, the new lines coming out with colors and and everything. So earlier this year, this is my second cigar I'm going to plan on is the Rocky Patel Gold, but they came out with the Emerald, and I've smoked a ton of those. But now they're going to have the Sapphire, which is they describe as a Cuban-esque type cigar.
Isn't there even a white series? Doesn't Rocky have a white series as well?
Yeah, well, I was just going with the new gold, emerald, like the.
Well, no, I know, but but I thought it started with anyway. Okay,
well, it could have started with the white.
I well, that one, I think the white was Rocky's attempt at unseating or to have a Davidoff competitor. It was a higher dollar, blah blah blah, that kind of thing and everything. Now the gold, ironically, you would think gold would be more than white, but the gold came in cheaper and whatever. But yeah, so I see what you're getting at. And it's not just even in the names of cigars, although, the My Father Blue has been a very big hit this year. So again, there's a color name. It's also in the packaging, because I don't know if you saw Fratello announced their different series of, I think, flavored cigars that they're putting out. Yep. And like each one is like very brightly colored in the packaging, different colors. So they're trying to get away from that sea of brown that we all talk about.
And the branding, I always intrigued by it. So you have the McAuliffes. They have what was the latest one, the white, and then I think they have one more coming out later this year. But they also announced they're going to do a multicolor, which they take all the clippings basically and make a. I don't know if it's going to be if it's all short filler, it's going to have to be machine made, right?
No, I don't necessarily think it has to be.
What do you do? You roll it like a joint, or
I
don't know.
That was another one on my list, and it looked like it was, if nothing else, it was at least a more budget line thanks to the short fill, interior, which I was, whether it's machine filled or not, machine made or not, it sounds like it's going to be a great one.
Yeah, you're talking a bundle of 20 6x52 Toros for $100, $5 a stick, or you have 6x60s for $6.60 a stick, bringing it to $1 or $132 for a bundle of 20. Dude, in the economy we're in right now, and let's be fair, the McAuliffe Color Series is priced favorably anyway for the long filler ones, but to take that and to then take the clippings and to do a short filler bundle to offer it at those prices, I mean, that brings it in line for other people that can't even afford the $9 long filler version.
Yeah.
So
anyways, I like Rocky stuff. I mean, I've been smoking it for years, but they're always good cigars. And, you had that conversation before about, just the good cigars don't stand out. The really bad ones stand out and the really good ones stand out. So it always falls in that middle. It's not a bad cigar. It's for the masses. He sells millions of them. But, the Emerald, I really liked, where I thought it was a really good cigar that I think about and have reached out for. And so, with that Cuban-esque type flavor, I mean, the Aladino anniversary one, I believe, is Cuban-esque. So I was just wondering how this is, and I didn't write down what the price point was, but it'd be interesting to go back and take a look, see where it falls in. If it falls in by the Emerald, I think that was like $14, but it's definitely a decent look for. So
gotcha.
Yep.
No, that's fair. And and it's in all things, not just cigars, but in all things, when something starts to work, everybody starts to copy it. So, you had McAuliffe and their color series and whatnot. And so, and West Tampa, it seemed like McAuliffe and West Tampa, because you had West Tampa with the black, white, and then the red. And then you have McAuliffe with their full color series. And it seems like after that, suddenly you're starting to see all these other companies doing, color stuff. Now, packaging wise, I guess Crux and Blackbird would probably have been the start of the more colorful stuff, in my opinion. But yeah, so.
But with the colors, he also had the birds, so that kind of correlated with everything. So, but then Crux, I don't know. Are you going to talk about Crux at all, or?
I didn't see anything. Anything
I didn't either. The big talk that I hear from different people is the great packaging, having that 5-pack, across the board, that I guess they're doing really well with it. So, and that's another color thing that you mentioned. So, anyways, I didn't mean to go off track here, but
you're fine. I mean, look, if anybody thinks this is going to be a super organized show, then they obviously haven't paid attention to me for the last however many years. So, like, we're going to go down all kinds of rabbit holes for this stuff. The first one I guess I'm going to highlight is the one I'm actually smoking, the Davidoff Puro Dominicano. So in the press release that I found on that, I guess it Half Wheel stated that there was a 2009 limited edition of this cigar, but Davidoff is saying that this is a new blend and not the same as the 2009 version. They're putting it out as a Robusto, a Corona 5 7/8 by 44, and then this Bellicoso Perfecto that I'm smoking right now. And it's got blah blah 6 different regions, all this kind of stuff, whatever. Supposed to hit shelves at the end of April, sometime around April 23rd. I'll say, as I'm smoking it, it's kind of earthy and almost, and I'm going to say this, and I don't want anybody to think I'm like criticizing it, because I'm enjoying it. But it's the note that I'm getting. It's musty. It's got a little bit musty kind of, basementy kind of component to it, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just something unique, and then it's what I'm getting from it. So I don't know if that's like a Dominican one of the different Dominican tobaccos they're using, but yeah, but it's interesting. So not bad. But it's been good, and then I know they're doing something with the late hour. I think I saw that they were doing like a torpedo of the late hour, which, to be honest, that one, the Davidoff Nicaragua and the Davidoff Maduro, which doesn't get nearly enough attention, are like my three favorite. Other than that, typically Davidoff cigars, they don't hit right for me. They're either too light or they just don't hit right for me. Those three though hit just right. And but I'm not hating this Puro Dominicano. It's actually that's a really kind of backhanded compliment. I'm liking this cigar so far. We might have a fourth, but have you? I mean, it's not a cheap date, but the Davidoff Maduro, have you had that? Either one of you?
I can't say I don't remember having it,
Dude.
but the late hour is like my favorite Davidoff cigar.
Yeah.
I mean, I love it. I love that size because that torpedo. I don't know. I find that with Aladino also with their Reserva, I always get the torpedo. I don't know. I think it's mouthfeel along with what you're smoking. So.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm sorry, I interrupt on the Maduro. So no, I haven't. Do you have one I can try or? Oh.
Maybe.
Okay.
They're not a cheap date. That's what I'm saying. You might have to
okay.
I know that Davidoff is too much for me normally. Like, it was one of those cigars when I first walked into the humidor, because you get your first budget cigar, you're on with a bunch of guys, you get a little budget cigar, then you actually walk into a humidor and you see those Davidoffs and they're like crazy expensive. So you buy the cheap stuff. Then as the time goes on, they stay that expensive thing. And by the time I started buying nicer cigars, I've just been seeing them for so long. I think I might have had a couple, maybe in some care packages for the Cigar Authority, maybe, but I can't recall buying any Davidoffs. Usually when I'm there, it's like, well, I can spend, $25 on this Davidoff, or I could spend 20 on this other cigar that I've never heard of, and looks pretty good. So I kind of fall in that trap.
Here's the thing, and this is, like I said, I'm gun shy because with Davidoff, I've tried different ones, and I really like the Nicaragua, the late hour, and then, in all fairness, the Maduro was another out of the blue care package that came from them last year, and I was like, okay, I'll give this a shot, and it's fucking great. But I've tried other ones, and again, I've come to learn that I need to stay in my lane when it comes to them. I need to stay with the late hour. I need to stay with the Nicaragua, and then now the Maduro. Because otherwise, what I found is that their blends just tend to just be too light. They tend to just be too mild for me, and I walk away going like, I spent all that money for that, and that's not what I want. But every once in a while, they can surprise me, so I guess that's good. But yeah, it's not one that I go to on the regular. Davidoff tends to be a celebratory or a special or I'm somewhere fancy and I want to smoke fancy kind of cigar, if that makes sense. So
I always joke. The first time I had the late hour, I'm like, I'm smoking it, and I turn to my wife. I go, I think you'll really like this. And she's like, oh my God, she's good at flavor notes. I'm like, I like it,
Yeah,
but she's
good.
smoking it at, yeah. And I'm like, okay, give it back. And she's, oh no, cowboy, you lost this one. Buy me a box.
Buy me a box.
Buy me a box. And I'm like, I'll buy a 5-pack. We'll see how that goes. Okay.
Oh
And then she got pissed because I ended up smoking them. So it's crazy. But
Shawn, you blew it because the wife directly told you to buy a box.
But
you had the green light, man. You had the green light on that.
But I've been telling her a box of cigars is $100. So that would kind of ruin my whole thing.
I don't know.
So a 5-pack.
Okay.
It all makes sense now.
That's fair. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Deceiving, but it's like Paul gets on my cigar budget.
I was just about to say we're gonna have to talk your cigar budget around the fire pit because I believe your bride is joining us at PCA this year. So
in between, she'll be available. So
no boy. All right, let's go around the horn again. Dan, you got something you want to highlight?
All right, so there was one that kind of, so it's not a cigar, but it's one of the related categories. So there's going to be the AI tobacconist. So this one caught my eye.
I must have missed this one.
Now, so what I did was instead of looking for the press releases, I was just looking at the exhibitors, and I was just looking for interesting ones and going through what they had.
Look at you going the extra mile and doing the extra work. Wow.
I've been to some trade shows before. So,
okay.
But the AI tobacconist is going to be there. And so what they've done is, and it caught my eye because I use ChatGPT for probably a good 2 hours a day at this point. I'm like automating every single task that I can. I'm using it at work. I'm basically every task I do, I find it saves me at least 10% of the time, if not like a couple hours. Okay. So what this is so it's a company that's selling a model that it's not there. So at least the way it's written, it doesn't sound like it's targeting, Cigars International or any of the big guys where it's like, oh, you have like a online tobacconist you can talk to. It's supposed to be a tool for the local retailers they can subscribe to. And it starts to take some of the guesswork out of saying, well, I like this cigar, and then having the guy hand you another cigar saying, well, I'll probably like this one. This one's been trained with AI to tell you what you might like based on your palate. And so I thought it was an interesting implementation with the, it's not just a chatbot that you'd have on one of the big sites. It's like, no, you can have any cigar shop could buy this subscription, and then it would just kind of makes it a little bit easier to figure out when that guy walks in and says, I like that cigar with the red band that one time. And it's like, well, that's half my humidor. And then you start, it just knows I'm curious to see what it can do is really what I'm saying.
So it's like a robot, Mr. Jonathan.
Exactly. They're actually probably going to just replace him with the AI tobacconist, I think.
Dave does really like the AI, so I could see that.
It's going to be way less overhead and at least 40% less gay.
40?
At least.
Okay. Oh my God. What if they adapt it and Dave's strengthometer is obsolete now? Instead of, and then all the cigar, there's no arguing. It's just,
it's just the AI says
we're going to have to top off the edge.
What does the AI say?
That's a breaking news story from PCA right there.
I'll be damned.
Yeah.
That is interesting. I didn't think to look at the exhibitor thing. I'll have to do that because, sometimes you do stumble across some ones and you're just like, oh, okay. I'll be damned. No, look at you. Out of nowhere.
I'm not saying I have a bunch more great stuff, but I got that.
No, you knocked it out of the park early. You got your home run.
It's like a golf scramble. You only have to have one good shot the whole day to help the team, and everybody's gonna be like, "Man, you remember when you hit that chip on 8?" And it's like, "Fuck yeah," So like, you did it.
What's the name of the app? Do you know?
So it was literally called the AI Tobacconist or the AI Tobacconist or something like
Wait,
that.
that could go
And
one of two ways. I could see retailers either really digging that, or I could see retailers being like, "They pick our jams," and like coming at you. You know, like this could go either way.
well, I
You look
know.
at it as a tool. It's a tool that they can use, along with it. I mean, they could learn,
I get it. I get it.
because how many times
See,
have you gone into a shop and they're like, "Do you need help?" And
Lots of times.
even that, yeah. And a
Yeah.
lot of times, so that'll give it a little bit more.
Well,
They should call it the Fugazi or something,
I'll also say, like, as somebody who's kind of half-ass briefly worked in a cigar shop for a little while, it does come in to play where guys come in and they're like, I don't know what I buy, but Sydney was working there, and it's like, but Sydney knows what I get, and it's like, well, Sydney's not here right now, so you have to tell me what you get, and they don't know. They have absolutely no idea what they smoke on the regular. Like on the regular, they have no idea what they smoke. They just come in and they're like, the person just gives it, but just rings me up, and so yeah, I can see where maybe that could now. What would come in handy there would be like, I don't know, profiles in a computer so that you could
Yeah.
actually look up their
You're-
purchase history, but that would require having an actual POS system, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah.
see, I'm one of those guys who my first time I was going up to my other house to do some work. So my wife wasn't a fan of me smoking cigars. So now I'm away from the wife for a minute. So that was one of the first times I went into a real cigar shop.
Man, he doesn't have a
And
Davidoff budget, but he's got 2 houses. Look at you there, Davey.
yeah.
well,
From my summer house.
yeah. So it's not too far from you. But the thing is, I stopped in this one cigar shop, and
That's
I laugh
right.
at this. I laugh at this story every time somebody brings it up because I was telling the guy, so like I'm new to this, I'm not really sure what I'm looking for, and guess what he hands me? The Perdomo champagne.
Oh, God.
And so, of course, though I've tried it 3 or 4 times because everyone raves about it since I've been into cigars, and every time it just gives me a migraine, so I can't smoke it.
No,
But
it's a
that's the thing. It
high
was like my
nicotine cigar. It's not one for somebody who's new. And everybody does this. They're like,
exactly.
oh, you're a new smoker? Have a Perdomo champagne. It's like, no, that cigar is
Yeah,
going to slit your throat and kick your ass.
everybody loves it, and that's the thing. It was now I powered through it because I just was kept smoking cigars. But
Because you're a man, right?
think of all the well, exactly.
Yeah,
Now
exactly.
but think of the people who didn't do that. It's it if the AI helps with that problem alone, I think it's it's got some big implications. I mean, imagine the random no name brand where everyone all these brands come and go, and then some people will miss them or they'll come back later, and it's like, well, you might be able to have more success as a manufacturer with that now. So I'm very excited to take a glance at what that AI tobacconist can do.
Well, if your tobacconist would have referenced the strengthometer, they would have realized that the champagne is a 7.
Unfortunately, I was pre-strengthometer days, and they were
Well,
dark
now,
times.
but see, exactly. But now we live in a strengthometer world. And
That's right.
so we shouldn't have that problem anymore.
Now, if we only had half points, it'd be so much better.
We have half points on the lemonade-o-meter. I just want that for the record. So anyway. All right. Well, Shawn, what have you got?
Okay, I'm stuck on the color thing. And so with Bentley, they came out with the green, they came out the white, and now they're coming out with the black. So, the white, very mild, green, kind of in the middle, black. Yeah, I don't know. I'm assuming it's going to be a little bit stronger, but just that taste profile is really good on the Bentleys, and just having maybe a piece of Lajero in it might give it a little bit more oomph. Or is it going to be just like a broadleaf? I mean, it seems like broadleaf is really, I don't know, is it more readily available? Is it Connecticut broadleaf? So I've just been hearing a lot about broadleaf lately. So I should probably look at it a little bit more to find out, but I was just excited to see that they're doing a line extension in the colors. So kind of still going with my theme. So, but
well, okay. So speaking of colors, I can throw one out at you.
okay.
Okay. So Zeno is coming out with the Zeno Honduras, and that's going to be red. Their current packaging is that kind of like kind of orangey yellow kind of color, but this is going to be all red, and it's going to they're going to feature Honduran tobaccos. They're going to have an Ecuadorian wrapper over a blend of Honduran tobaccos from the Copan and Yamastran Valley. And it's going to be made at Diadema Cigars de Honduras, best known as the Camacho Factory. So you got that coming. That'll be available in little half Coronas, which it's in a pack of 5. So I'm going to guess that's the 10 4x44s, and then Robustos and Toros. I love the Zeno Nicaragua. And for the price point, that Zeno Nicaragua is a great smoke. And dude, those little pre-punched Coronas that are in the tin, Ed Sullivan got me hooked on those at the New England Cigar Expo like 2 years ago. Those are fantastic little short smokes and really good for the wintertime. But so I'm looking forward to seeing what the new, Honduran version of the Zeno has to offer. I think that'll be fun.
Yeah. And I wonder if they're going to be like a major sponsor. Well, did you see them today at the show?
What?
I'm playing into.
Oh, you're playing into that.
Friday. Yeah. So Danny, like
that
outside,
that would have worked if I would have not announced at the beginning of the show that we're pre-recording. They're like, damn, he was at the show and now he's in a shitty garage. What is going on? Anyway, okay, sorry.
These walls were just painted. I have new epoxy on the floor. It's not shitty anymore. I just have to hang my stuff back up.
I didn't mean you. I meant my shitty garage. My garage is full of shit. You're just like kind of nice. You got a little fridge there and everything. You got
a fridge. Got it. My chair. Yeah. But anyways,
my spring cleaning is coming up. Post PCA.
She wants me to start.
Post PCA, this garage is going to be a big project. I won't be parking in here anymore. It'll be nice enough. I'll park outside. And the comics are getting pared down a little bit, if you know what I mean. So.
Room to move. Yeah, it'd be interesting. Do you have all your comics in sleeves?
Of course I do.
Okay, just sorry, nerd. I was just making sure because it was funny because I stuck a book up on top of the refrigerator that I forgot about. I was cleaning, I guess, and I grabbed the book and was like, holy shit. It was just smoke. Yeah.
That's the thing. Cigar smoke is heavy and it will stick to things. And so, you gotta be aware of that. And so that's why A, they're all that direction. B, I've got my window fan going, pulling the smoke out the window and everything. But what's funny is I cleaned that window and the fan. You give it like a couple of months and it desperately needs to be cleaned again because all that smoke's pulling that way. And so it just
pulling that on and it just doesn't stick because it's not a direct funnel out.
Yeah.
So.
And that window gets all foggy and dirty and gross. And there's it's nasty. So yeah, you got to clean.
Getting back to the Zeno thing. Yes, sorry. We went down a rabbit hole. So weren't they? So in the morning before we went in, they had the beignets outside and coffee that were for everybody. And
that we didn't go to.
Well, yeah,
I didn't.
But didn't Zeno have a? No, because we didn't know because it's I didn't realize it was free.
No, exactly. I thought it was a food truck I had to pay for, and I was like, I just ate at my hotel for free. I'm not going to buy beignets, but it's like, oh shit, they were free. Anyway, so now we know.
Definitely have a beignet. So anyway, Zeno was doing the coffee. They were doing all the coffee and that. So I just wonder if they're going to be because they were really heavily branded throughout the show. Which makes sense, people going more towards the economical cigars, so I think they got a good push.
And they may do it again this time, but now instead of seeing that yellow everywhere, we'll just see red.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah. So I like Honduran tobacco. I mean, Aladino's there and, a lot of Rocky stuff is Honduran. So, yeah.
I think it'll be interesting. Well, I think it's also interesting that you're seeing a bit more of a Honduran push, considering all of the geopolitical unrest in Nicaragua, it's like kind of makes you think maybe some companies are hedging their bets a little bit and kind of expanding their footprint, which I don't think is a bad thing. I think it's a very smart move on a lot of businesses' part, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. It's what is it? You know, it's right on the border. Both of the major Esteli and Dunley. I forgot what the main growing region is in Honduras. Yeah. Anyways, it's basically 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But it's funny how they're both two totally different tobaccos. You get have the flavor profile. So.
Well,
Depending on that.
Got all kinds of stuff going on. All right, Danny.
All right, so 1 second, I gotta pull up a note because I keep forgetting this name. All right, so there was keeping in line with I was just looking at interesting vendors for a bit. There's a name that I think I've seen before coming up at PCA, Abina Sipping Soda. And so it's a pop. I'm from the Midwest, of course. We're all from the Midwest. We know the word pop. But
yeah, I call it soda, by the way.
Well, you're wrong. But anyways, it's I swear I've heard of these guys before. I think it was on like a Cigars Daily like 3 years ago or something that I heard about them. And they make a pop that is basically it pairs well with cigars. And what impresses me about it is that clearly it pairs well enough where they were willing to buy floor space at the PCA trade show.
Oh, for sure.
And so I'm interested because they've been around for a little bit, but at the same time, you can't help but think to yourself, it's a bold strategy, Cotton. I mean, it's a little bit of it's not like they have like this gigantic bottling facility where they sell all these different brands. It's like they have 4 flavors and it looks like a fairly small outfit. It's not cheap either. So it's just going to be an interesting one. I was kind of curious to see them, actually as a vendor at the trade show. It seemed interesting.
What are the 4 flavors? Do you remember? I imagine like a ginger ale, a root beer.
So none of them were like a regular flavor of pop. They were all like one of those fancier ones, like something a little bit unique, but it almost named like a candle. I want to say, like what is a moonlit sunrise? What does that like taste like kind of thing? I don't know. But
well, if they don't have lemonade, I don't think Nick will be interested. So
see, and that's the power play because if they do have lemonade, obviously it's going on the show, right?
It's going on the show big time. It's going on the list. So yeah. I'm trying to think of. Well, let me look at my schedule here real quick. I want to see something. So as of right now, I have 3 lemonades. As of the time I'm recording this, I have 3 lemonades on the list, but how many will I have by the time this episode comes out? That's the real question. Because 1, 2, I will have 5. I will have 5 on the list. So there's 2 that are coming up that I don't know. But yeah, it could be number 6 if they have a lemonade and they have a sample of it at PCA. It could be number 6.
So are you coming out with a lemonade taste-o-meter, or are you going to do a top 10 at the end? Or I mean,
I don't know. I haven't thought that far ahead of it. This is literally just me trying to find a lemonade that's comparable to that La Giada lemonade that they have at the 2 Guys shops. No, that's all. That stuff's good, man. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like hyping it up too much, but like it's like liquid crack to me. And I love it, and I'm just trying to find one comparable. So I don't know, but yeah, I haven't figured it out. Maybe I'll get started. If it branches out and becomes big enough, maybe they'll start. Maybe I'll get samples of lemonade. That'd be nice.
I don't know who else is reviewing lemonade like that, so you might be cornering a market here.
You never know. I mean, it might come out of nowhere and just be like, "You're the lemonade guy." So, trust me, based off my fridge right now, I've got plenty of it in there. I'm not joking. I think I have 4 different types of lemonade in my fridge right now. And then there's at least a couple I'm on the hunt for that people have told me about that I need to find. So I'm just saying it's out there. Well, interesting. I like that you're looking at things other than just cigars. You're looking at the totality of the show and like being like, what else is there that could be fun? Because I just have cigars, but all right. So, all right. Well, Shawn, what all have you got?
I don't know if it's on your list or not, but anyways, Perdomo was coming on with the father son one. It had the Legacy came out last year. Father son. So it's like a new line where Nick Jr. is really getting involved, and I
because
guess
he wasn't involved in the Legacy, right?
no, he's only one. Nick Jr., the kid, did the Legacy all on his own.
The kid is the third.
Okay, the third. Okay. Yeah. So anyways.
I'm just saying Nick Jr. is the one we all think of as Nick Perdomo.
Okay.
But anyway. So
Junior, the third.
I was confused. Yeah. Okay. Junior. Okay. Yeah.
He did the Legacy. I don't know. I'm actually going to go out to the launch, I think, in May for the Legacies thing. So it's out at Two Guys is going to do it. Yeah,
we'll have to add that to the Where's Waldo of where Shawn is, different cigar events.
I got the Kentucky Herf before that, and then I'll take a run there. So
now I got one. I got one for you.
Okay.
What day? April 28th. April 28th in Cincinnati at
the Gorbusto.
The Gorbusto event that Aladino is doing. Now, the reason that they're doing it there is because that's the 10-year anniversary of the death of the murdering of Harambe. And so they're going to celebrate or commemorate the murdering of Harambe by doing a launch party of the Gorbustos. Because if you've done any looking at the Gorbustos at all, they all feature monkeys and apes on the thing. So like it's the Gorbusto. It's the Sticks Out for Harambe event at I think it's a Party Source or something. I don't know what shop it is, but anyway. But yeah, I've. Yeah.
Is that's April 28th? I listened to the
show Tuesday, April 28th. So yeah,
got it. In Cincy.
Mm-hmm. So just saying that could be a fun one.
Good for Tremac for kind of pushing that, the launching of the Camp Aladino, the one from last year into that branding. I mean, it is totally different from the regular branding, so it'll really stand out. So good for them. They're great cigars, and and it sounded like from the Teddy Caldwell's show that they got some good little, the posters and good marketing and everything. So
I think it'll be fun. And it's something goofy. And here's the thing: this is the other thing that Tremac didn't bring up, but I'm going to bring up now. Husto's a giant sci-fi nerd, and does this not scream Planet of the Apes to you? I'm just saying. Don't think for a moment.
I see it now.
Yeah, right? But don't think for a moment that maybe Gorbusto and the Apes aren't maybe playing to Husto's love of science fiction there a little bit. So
good. I'm glad they kind of expanded out. I think it'll get some interest on the shelf. I think it's an easy buy-in because are they going to be 10 count boxes or are they going bigger?
I have the press release right here.
Okay. I was just curious because I mean that's an easy box buy, especially the
4.5 by 60.
Yep.
Boxes of 20.
Okay.
MSRP at $11 per cigar, box of 20. So you're looking at $220 a box.
And then if they give a box discount, so you're looking at $200, which is right in line. It's a good hour cigar. I mean, it's packed.
Yeah.
So that's I'm glad they're launching it because remember last year it was like it was so hard to get. I know Ken had them, at his shop, and
and it's going to be see the Camp Aladinos are going to be like that because the Camp Aladino cigars are only available to the shops that have gone to the farm. So
Yeah.
I think from what he said, there was maybe like 72 shops total that can like qualify to get that.
Yep.
But now the Gorbusto is going to be available everywhere.
Right on.
And so like, yeah, everybody can theoretically get a hold of it, assuming they have enough.
Yeah, and I think it'll be a good eye opening for the brand, and then also competition for nub, and because there's that size.
But in all fairness, all right, let's just stop for a minute. And I'm not going to shit on them too bad, but like, do you even fucking see nub all that terribly much around anymore?
Cigar Page.
I mean,
No.
like in your brick and mortar shops, either one of you, do you see nub around all that terribly much anymore?
I think I see it. I just don't think I notice it anymore. Like it's every time I have seen it, it kind of goes in line with like that Davidoff thing I had earlier. It's just I've had them, I see them. It's not that they're bad. I just don't. It's not like I'm showing up and saying, "Oh yeah, let me grab a pack of nubs."
You don't gravitate towards it.
I mean, to kind of keep in line like with the Gorbusto going, sticks out for Harambe and everything. Realistically, this is the most marketing I fall for is cigars. Like I'll buy anything for a dumb gimmick, which is why Dave's packs was such a problem for me. But
dude, tell me about it. I'm freaking collecting these damn cards, and it's like I'm scrambling to pull my money together to pay my taxes, and I'm just sitting back going like, that motherfucker's gonna release another pack here anytime now, and I don't have the money for that, but I'm still gonna fucking buy it,
See, I don't even collect cards and stuff like that, but I want these ones. And it's like, and the size of the packs, it works out perfect because my daughter is like 20 months old right now, so we're having lots of fun. We're buying stuff and like having a lot of toys and stuff. I'm having less time for cigars, but you know what I have time for? The care package and that one pack of extra cigars a month. I can make time for that. It's a perfect deal. I'm like, this is $100 right here. And I get this little trading card that I never really would have wanted, but I do like cigar stuff, so I'll collect that, I guess. And now I've already bought all of them from the beginning, so I might as well keep buying the rest.
Well, I just don't want him to keep thinking I heard him. I just don't want him to be doubling up and doing multi-packs like he did that one month with the meatball and the other one. Was it the Perdomo pack? It's like all of a sudden it's like, shit, man, you're hitting me for 2 packs in a month. It's like, whoa, keep these separate. Yeah. Don't be doing that shit to me too much, Oh my gosh.
Speaking of that, buy with those damn cards. If you didn't order the Ava one yet, so at the beginning of the month when he released it, I jumped on add to my care package. Okay. So, later on, they're like, oh, this is the final week. And I'm like, oh, shit, I didn't buy it. So I went on there, add to my care package. So I get 2 of them. And I'm I
did buy the Avo one. I tend to jump on it right when they go out, because I don't want to miss it. Because I'm already committed. I've already gotten all these cards. What happens when they come out with the Saka card, and all of a sudden all the Saka fanboys are going to come in and be like, "I need that," and it's like sold out real quick or something, Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Yep. Well, you figure what was it? It was 15 years ago when the cards
there
came
may
out.
not be a Saka card.
Saka wasn't around, but still, you have this coming month. You have Newman's card is coming out, so that's the new one.
Look at you at the preview. Although by the time this airs, it'll probably be out. But okay,
yeah,
now
they'll
I know.
Be out.
Now I know it's the
all
Newman
sold
card.
out. Yeah. But yeah, I gotta start paying attention because the other thing I was going to bring up.
You have that problem because you buy tickets to events twice.
Yep. Thinking, and I did that for the Kentucky Herf. They come out, oh, here's your 4 shirts and your 4 packs. I'm like, no, I only bought 2. No, you bought on this date and you bought on this date. And I'm like, oh, okay. And the same thing with this weekend thing. I didn't buy it twice, thank God, but I forgot that I bought it. So I'm panicking a month or so ago. I'm calling up Mr. Jonathan. He goes, I don't know. That's all through JC Newman. So I finally had to call the tour people. And it's like, hey, am I on the list? And they're like, oh, yeah, 2 tickets. You're good. I'm like, oh, great. I go, did I pay for it? I'm like going through credit card bills, trying to find it, and never did find it. But yeah, I was on the list. So,
Dude, Post-it notes. You need to start making the little
I
notes.
put it in my calendar. But then I put things in there like future things. It's like, oh, I might want to go to this. I might want to do this. So, I put it in there so I don't plan something for that weekend. So it's opportunity.
All right. Here's what you need to do. When you put it in the calendar, when you put the name of the event in your calendar, in parentheses, PIF, right behind it. That way I paid in full. Or if there's not PIF behind it, well, this is one I was interested in, but I haven't bought yet. That way you just know. Although I don't know how that's going to help you with the cigar packs. Might help you with the bags.
No. But I learned my lesson. I'm going to buy it when they release it and be done. And, but it's that FOMO that, with, good marketing and a little, like I don't need another lighter or cutter or lighter and everything. But if a cool one came out, I'd want it. But
I know, right? Yeah. So, it's like, I don't need one. But every once in a while, I see one that's just like, that's fucking cool. I want that. Oh, speaking of which, Danny, I need to get, when this is all said and done, I need to get your home address so that I can ship a few or order a few Vertigo Cyclones to ship to your house so that I have a lighter for there, because I'm flying with just a carry-out bag and I don't want to.
I might be able to take care of it. I wouldn't worry about it.
Gotcha.
I got the pile of lighters. You guys will be fine. Do not worry about lighters.
I just realized I'm not going to be checking a bag, so I need to make sure I have a lighter and yeah. So anyway,
speaking of, so this past weekend, the big conversation was TSA and lighters. And do you remember Pam from?
Oh yeah, I know
Pam. So Pam's sister is a TSA agent.
Shawn, anybody who's met Pam will always remember me.
Oh yeah. Well, I was just for Danny. So she goes. Okay. Yeah. So I was adding. So, anyways, Pam's sister's TSA agent. So it started off one guy. They took his lighter on the way there, and then afterwards, I guess everyone was getting dinged out of Tampa for everyone say, well, yeah, just put it in your dock bag. Put it in your dock bag. Use a plastic. The cyclone lighters and everything. And and there was so much on the other site. There was so much talk of people just getting everything taken away. So, Danny, thank you for taking care of us, and we'll have plenty of Vertigo lighters.
As long as I have fire, that's all I need.
Yep. Oh, trust me, we'll be good.
Okay, appreciate it. All right. So who's up next? Whose turn is it? We talked soda. Is it Shawn's turn?
No, back to Danny.
I think it's your turn.
All
right, well,
I mentioned.
Go ahead.
Look, I'm ready to go again because
didn't go again.
So like I said, I'm a complete sucker for marketing with cigars. A good band will sell me pretty much anything. And Black Label Trading Company has got a really cool band coming out with it's the Macabre. And it just has like a ram skull on it or goat skull on it, I think. It's a goat skull. I'm not even seeing any details on what's in it necessarily. It just looks good. So I want to buy it. And that's pretty much if the color's right, if it looks like it's well made, I'll try it.
I mean, I'll try anything once. Well, I mean, cigar wise,
Now,
I just want that for the record, cigar wise,
Now, I am seeing that it does have, it's got the Mexican San Andreas wrapper, which I'm a huge fan of. And it's mentioning floral notes, which makes me start thinking of things like Atabay. So I don't know what it's going to cost here, but $14 MSRP for a Toro. Yeah, I'd buy that.
That's in line.
For Blackworks, that's right in there, that range. Yeah. So, yeah, they have some, I mean, it's going to have a little kick to it. Because they always have it's well balanced but little strength. So
I want to know if at PCA we're going to see like Sharks versus Jets throwdown rumble in the main aisleway between the folks at Mayflower and Crown Heads over the Moonflower. Because
That
if
logo looks
that logo,
crazy.
that Moonflower logo looks very similar to the Mayflower Cigars logo. And then when you say Moonflower, Mayflower, and that logo, boy, it's so close. Let's put it this way. Fuerte y Libre had to change their name from Fuerte to Fortaleza y Libre because the fine folks at Fuente decided that Fuerte was too close to Fuente. So I could definitely see where Mayflower could definitely come along and be like, Crown Heads, I don't know about this one.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, they're both based out of Nashville. So, I mean, they're down the street from each other, the distribution and everything. So, it's been pretty quiet. So I just,
I haven't heard anything, and it's been promoted. So you would think that if something were to come along, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Speaking of Crown Heads, well, they did a rebranding. I like the old, Jericho Hill. They had each brand or each cigar had a unique label. Now they went to the unified. I called it the Perdomo look, where they all look the same, but they have that underlying area and maybe a different color or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like, oh, you kind of ruined it. But I don't know if that'll be good or bad for marketing and branding and that, but yeah. So,
well, speaking of some rebranding, Christoph, they announced that they're going to have the Christoph Signature Series. It's PCA exclusive with a Cameroon wrapper over Dominican binder and fillers. And it kind of goes a little in line with their new kind of like look to it. It's blue, and whatnot. Very clean looking. Whereas before it seemed like the Christoph thing was brown with the leaves in the box and everything. But now, I mean, this is black, but it looks much more clean and whatever. So I don't know. I mean, that could be cool. I do like what Christoph's been doing with their. I think rebranding, to your point, I think rebranding can be good in some cases. I think it has been very beneficial for Christoph. I get what you're saying, though, is when you take everything under the umbrella and rebrand it to make it very uniform like that. I don't know. Although, man, Crown,
especially it was unique.
And I don't want to shit on Crown Heads, but it does seem like if there's one brand that through COVID and after COVID seem to just kind of lose their way, in my opinion, I feel like it was Crown Heads. Because like it maybe this is just me and my little bubble of the Midwest and everything like that, but like there were shops around here that carried all the Crown Head cigars. And what ended up happening was all the core lines kind of just disappeared. And I don't know if that was tobacco availability or what it was. And they just went to all these limited releases all the time, which kind of screams to me, we're trying to get tobacco, but we can't get enough for like a core line. So let's just do a whole bunch of limited releases. And so I don't know. It's kind of nice to see Crown Heads like kind of doubling back and saying core lines, we're going to commit to core lines and we're going to, have our portfolio fleshed out.
I always look to see, like on Cigar Page, which is what are they dumping? What are they buying and what are they trying to get rid of and at the price point? So that's where I really got into the Jericho Hills. It's like, I really like that cigar. And wow,
I can tell you. So there's so much about Cigar Page.
I know, and that's how I found out about, St. Francis and Southern Draw and all them. So I wonder if they're doing the limited edition stuff to keep the brick and mortars happy and then, doing that, or just dumping their old branding stuff there. So I don't know. Or just buying the labels,
There's also other ways to dump cigars. If you're a company and you're sitting on a mountain of cigars that maybe it's branded up in a way that you don't want to release and whatever else. There's cigars for warriors too. Get the tax credit and give the I mean, because it's not like we don't have, I don't know, a fucking war going on to where maybe there might be some guys that might want, some cigars here soon. So, maybe it's one of those situations where maybe instead of dumping on Cigar Page, that might be a consideration. But that's a whole different conversation. But
Yeah, it is.
know.
But I was just we were talking about rebranding and everything.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that Moonflower and Mayflower, yeah, that's dangerously so close.
I could see that being a rumble at some point. Like if we hear about a fight at the trade show, feel like it's going to be between those two companies. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah. Well,
If
we'll
nothing
see.
else,
Maybe it's
I
all
just
behind
love
the
the
scenes.
idea. If nothing else, I just love the idea of two sales forces going down the aisle, just coming at each other, snapping with one hand and shanking with a knife with the little pop out butterfly knife with the other hand. One guy in
Like
leather jackets. Kind of.
Whichever one won, I'll be buying their cigars. I know that.
Well, yeah. Because if they're gonna win a street fight at the PCA,
I smoke winners. All right.
There you go. Well, the last one I had on my list, and then if you guys have more, we can go through them. One that we encountered last year that I had never heard of, admittedly, but it seems like they've kind of since last year. I'm hearing more and more about them. Is DBL?
Stop. Boom.
What?
I knew it. Yeah, I was going to say no. Let me say it. It's BDL because remember he was so I don't know lackadaisical. He was just sitting back, and I'm like, I was interested because I saw a little bit of it. And I ended up talking to him and and then he was very energetic. He used to work for LFD.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was him talking, don't get me wrong, but
yeah.
He's just so knowledgeable. And I'm like, okay, if you're so well known and these cigars are so great, why haven't we heard about you? And then he went on to the Cigar Authority, talked on there, and I've heard nothing but good things about that conversation.
And all the ones I've smoked have been amazing.
Yeah. They're well constructed, good flavor. I'm sorry. And what was the name of the new one that he's coming out with? I saw it, but
he's got a Nicaragua Ometepe and a Nicaragua Pennsylvania broadleaf coming in May. So more broadleaf for you, but they've got those. The broadleaf is a 6 1/4 by 54 with Pennsylvania broadleaf wrapper over Nicaraguan binder and filler. MSRP of $11.90 in a 20 count box.
Price.
That's awesome. And then the Ometepe is a 6 by 56 soft box press, Ecuadorian sun-grown Habano wrapper covering Nicaraguan binder and filler, including Ligero from the Ometepe region of the country. Doesn't say price or count on that one though, but
he said $11.
Both cigars are $11.90 and in 20 count boxes. Yeah, so you're right. So okay. So yeah. So I mean, I'm excited to see a little bit of a line expansion from DBL because they came out of nowhere last year and they were good. And if there was one company that kind of, in my opinion, for me at least, that kind of came out of nowhere and has risen in the last year, I'd say it was them.
Yeah.
So
be interesting.
Yeah.
Or I'm looking forward to having an opportunity of possibly trying it. And I find myself buying them. I think they're getting more and more distribution. I think that was the key thing last year, but he wasn't busy. So he must, I don't know if he's using brokers or what, how that's getting out, but price point wise, that's another thing. They're all reasonable.
Exactly. It's reasonable. It smokes well. It's got good flavor. And not to blow smoke up Dave's ass, but I think the Cigar Authority and two guys bringing them on, I think that helps to a degree as well, But yeah, I mean, it's just look, it was surprising because I remember when you were talking to him, because at one point I ended up going and sitting down because we were at the point that it was like, I need to take a break, and so I went and sat down, and like, you're over there for forever. And then you came back and I'm like, dude, what the hell? He's like, yeah, he just kept talking, but like, this, and it's like, shit, these are good. So yeah.
Yeah, because his booth placement too was at the very end.
Way off. Yeah, way in the end.
Not even food vendor or anything. He was
on the
by
opposite
himself,
end of the food
or not
hall.
by
Yeah.
himself. He had his team, but
Yeah.
no, it was, it'll be good to see him and, maybe even try it. So
there you go.
Because I'm liking his stuff. So.
All right, so that's it for my list. Well, you guys can go through the rest of yours now. So, anybody have any more?
Okay.
Go
ahead, Danny.
You got to get aggressive and just jump in, dude.
That's it. But I'm just gonna say that another thing that was interesting is La Flor Dominicana is coming out with the fresh packs, and so they every La Flor Dominicana, every time I have one. In fact, I have one, and I was debating about having it for the show, but I was like, the thing is, every time I get them, they're just so interesting, and it's I want that variety. So getting like that 5 or 6 pack or whatever, they have it's so different between each one. They're all strong, but some of them is just you really love, you really hate, but you're always happy with whatever you got. So I think that I'm excited to see some more packs from them.
Have you had what is the it's the one Lito Jr. is all about, the Solus? I think it's the Solus.
If I've had it, I don't remember it.
Oh, it's a tasty cigar. And it is not a slit your throat LFD. It is not a super strong, just come along and beat you over the head LFD. It's a nice, subtle, good flavor. I'd say a medium. I wouldn't say it's a mild, but I'd say it's a bit of a medium. It's a tasty cigar, man. The Solus is definitely right in there. So I'm looking forward to seeing him. Lito Jr. is a good dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was really conversation. I just kind of an average guy, you're just able to have a.
And one of the up and comers, man. He's a young guy at the company there and everything. It's like these new generation of people, they're coming in and doing some things. So it'll be fun to see. I'm curious. Speaking of new generations, I'm curious to see if Aladino is going to have 3 different monkey costumes, and maybe they can put the girls, put the daughters. Like we could have the 3 Corbusto. Whatever. I think that'd be fun. Outcast had that girl in the cat costume last year. We could put the Aroa daughters in the Corbusto suits and have them come try the Corbustos. I think that'd be great. Same.
Oh, kind of going off the other one I'm looking forward to. Going
and he
from
just moves right past that.
Yeah, I was going to say that'd be just a shame because they're just cuter than Bug's ears, and why do that? So, but anyways, Asylum is coming out with Arabian Night, which is a new brand, I guess, from them. So it'd be interesting to see what that is, because usually you think Asylum, the big, donkey dicks and that. This is, I've been seeing more of the Asylum.
There was a video that they put out not long ago. I'm going to see if I can find this. And they were rolling something, and oh dear God. Hang on. Let me see if I can find this thing. This was absolute insanity. Where is it? Come on. This wasn't that long ago. Is this it? No, that's not it. It was shit. That's all the way back to January. Man, I don't know what the hell. Where'd it go? I don't know. Maybe I'm making shit up. I just saw something not too terribly long ago, and it was bigger than the 10 by 10. It was 10 by 100. It was a massive cigar, and I don't know.
So in my looking through the random exhibitors, there was it was Blue Sky Cigars, and they were one of the names. I clicked on it, went to their website, and I saw that they sold one cigar. It was the Football, and so it's like a one of those random house blend kind that you would see, but it was kind of like the Drew Estate Egg, but it was just more football shaped, and it had like the Connecticut wrapper for the strings on the football. The thing
Oh,
looked interesting enough to pay an amount of money. I probably wouldn't pay what they charge, but I was just reminded of that one because it looks like around the center, it's got to be like that big. Like it's got to be like this, like 5-inch ring gauge around the center of it. It looks huge.
The
yeah.
megalophobia from Asylum 13. It's a 13 by 134.
Oh my God. Are you going to have a fast smoking contest with that and see
You know what's
what
funny? The
happens?
reason I knew about this is because Luke, Mr. Mystic 35
Yeah.
millimeter, he commented on it and said next Pulpit Fest challenge. But like if you look at this, they're like rolling it. Look at, I mean,
Oh.
it's enormous. Oh,
Mr. Jonathan is getting a soft chub right now.
soft nothing, but yeah, but I'm just like, oh dear Lord. But yeah, 13 by 134. I mean, at some
See,
point,
Is it going to be like the lunatic type stuff? I mean, is it going to come in like a coffin? Like a novelty thing? I don't. That's crazy.
yeah,
I
don't
know.
know.
JC Newman's coming out with a 70 ring gauge
Really?
cigar. I don't know if it's like a offshoot. I remember them talking about it. I don't know if it's going to be like a brick house, mighty, mighty, mighty. But with that size, that I think it's 70 by 7. So, and it's like, oh, what's the market for that stuff? I mean, you want to sell sticks. But does it? Hey, we're talking about it right now. So does that get
True.
interest?
I will also say you might be very surprised to know what the market is for that. Because from what I've been told from various rep friends of mine and things like that, when you go around and you visit some shops, and I'm going to leave some details to your imagination, but there is a demographic that loves the big ring gauge, and it's not the Mr. Jonathan demographic, if that's what you're thinking.
No, I imagine it's the value. If they're going to spend $25 on a cigar, they're going to get 4 cigars, out of this and last all day. So yeah, I can see that.
No,
but
flavored and
I don't
infused
know.
and big ring gauge are both very popular, and I don't know if they quite get. I don't know if they quite get the same amount of. I don't know if they get the amount of credit that perhaps they should, because maybe there's people like us that aren't. It's not our thing, so we don't really talk about it. But like,
Yeah.
I think if you saw sales numbers, I think you'd be really surprised to know just how well the big ring gauge shit does. So it's not my
interesting
thing. I agree.
I mean,
it's not my thing, but it's I think it's much more popular than anybody really wants to acknowledge. So
I mean, I guess if you're gonna buy like one cigar a year, you'd see that. Maybe that.
I mean, I've always heard that truck drivers like
No,
them
this
because
is
it's
for
one
the
of those
weekend.
things where they can fire one up when they're getting ready to leave a destination, and if they can get 4 hours of smoking time out of a giant table leg cigar, to where they don't have to stop and relight something, they can just drive continuously. My only thing with that is I get bored. Like there was an Asylum, Pandemonium, I think was the name of it. It was a really long son of a bitch, and I smoked one of those one time, and quite frankly, about halfway through it, it's not that it was bad. I was just bored with it. It's like, okay, I've smoked an entire cigar. I still have a whole nother cigar to go, and I'm just bored with it at this point. Like I saw a guy smoking that Woody by Oscar Valladares, and I'm just like, I like Oscar cigars, but I'm like, fuck, that's a that's a yardstick. And it's like, this is too much. Like, I'm going to get bored with it a third of the way through, and I still have two, and I'm not going to waste it. So I'm going to then sit there and not truly enjoy the remaining 2/3 of it. I don't know. Just my own opinion.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Somebody knows what they're doing, because I mean,
now therein lies the point.
give it a shot.
If you were to give me a like 9-inch cigar to where like every 2 to 3 inches, like the flavors radically change, that could be a fun little experiment. But you're not going to get it for like $10, which is, I think, the thing. They want these big ring gauges, but they want to keep the value price on it low and everything like that. And so you're not going to get that for that price. But if that would be a thing. Theoretically, if you were to give me a really big cigar like that had some radical changes to it, but I don't know. What do I know?
Okay. I'm still just wondering, why would Asylum have a 13 by 134? Because 13 is their whole thing. What's that extra 4 add? Like, that little bit of ring gauge, what did it make so different? And I can't seem to get over that.
Well, because even an inch around is what, 64?
4. Yeah.
Isn't 64 ring gauge a full inch around?
121. That's 228.
Well, I'm trying to remember from whatchamacallit, the EP Carrillo inch. What's the ring? I think that's a 64 ring gauge.
It's 64, yeah.
And so if that's the case, then 128 would be 2 inches. So we're talking 2 inches around plus an additional 8 on the ring gauge, or no, 6 on the ring gauge. So like, I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe it just had to be that way for whatever. There's got to be a reason. I don't know what it is.
That's what makes me want to try it. I want to know what that little extra 3/32 of an inch, why did they put it in there?
Well, you should go by the CLE Asylum booth and just inquire. Like, why did you go with the 134 on this one?
That's going to be my mission at PCA now. We got to go there.
So my mission for PCA, I was talking with a friend of mine, and he's very business minded, and it's no secret we're in a rough economy for all kinds of different things. And what his thing was, and what his assignment for me was, and I actually really liked it, was go around and find out, like, is anybody doing something truly different and unique? And I don't mean blend wise, because let's be real, we talk about blends, but like, it's all tobacco and it's all, this flavor, no, that flavor. It's like, I don't mean that. I mean something truly different and unique that kind of upends the way things kind of currently are being done. Something that truly like supports brick and mortar partners, creates some collaboration with some brick and mortar partners, things like that. Something that really brings something different and unique to the industry. Or is it more of the same of, buy this many boxes, get this box free, buy this many boxes, get this discount? Like, is it more of that, or is anybody thinking outside the box and doing something truly different and unique to bring some excitement to their brand? And that's something, that's what I'm going to be looking for. I'm going to be looking for somebody that's like really doing something different.
Yeah. Well, you think about Agrinosa. They came out with the tasting things with the individual pearl of each leaves and that. We did the same thing at JC Newman, but where they kind of missed the boat a little bit. We're going, and then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I know all these are, Florida sun grown, Peninsula, Pennsylvania, this is Connecticut. So I took all 3 of them and I'm like, okay, this is what it is. They didn't tell anybody else. So we're at our table. I'm like, okay, now take this and this. This is what you have, in the American. And then the other one was a blend. This is what you have in, what is it? What's their other one that really coming out with, It's the one that made the Hall of Fame.
The
Siesta.
Cuesta Ray?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
So it's like, okay, this is what that is, and going back and forth. So, I mean, I think that's unique. I mean, getting buy-in from the consumer, and on that, and and Mr. Jonathan, give him credit on this, is like what he should have done is, okay, if you like this, and today while you're at the factory, we'll give you 10% off of box price, if you go, if you buy that, if you like that today. I mean, that would be, I don't know, engaging for their time, and getting that. So I think that's the most a unique one recently that I could, and you can always do, I don't know, tastings. I mean, get a liquor sponsor, and what goes well with that cigar,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
are you? But
I don't know.
But
It's kind of one of those, like, I can't say right now what I'm looking for, but I'll know it when I see it, if that makes sense. It's kind of going to be one of those things I'm going to have to go around and just kind of like, talk to everybody and be like, so what, what's this? What's it? What are you doing? That kind I don't know. I'm formulating it all up in my head. I'll have it all prepped for there, but it's going to be one of those things that when I encounter it, I'll know it. But if I don't encounter it, I'll know that I didn't encounter it, because like I said, for us to sit here and talk about this difference, look, I'm excited about trying these new cigars, but at the end of the day, they're just more new cigars, like, and I guess from a consumer side of things, maybe that's all we really care about. But I'm this is a retail trade show, so like, what are these companies doing, that's different, that's going to help the retailer on that front? Like, what are they doing that's going to help the brick and mortars? Because, dude, it's a rough world out there right now. I just saw there's a shop in Indiana right over the border at Terre Haute that's going to be closing down in May, and that sort of thing. And so it's rough out there, and I'm just kind of curious as to what some of these companies are going to be doing to kind of, and it's not even necessarily work with the retailers. They all have to, everybody's got to get creative. Retailers got to get creative to a degree, doing the whole buy four, get one free thing. I mean, at this point, we got to retail. If that's all the retailer is counting on as an event, they need to, rethink that. There's just a lot to it that I'm going to be very curious to see when this is all said and done. Like, are we like thinking ahead, or are we just doing the same old and hoping that it continues to work? Because I think a lot of companies were really excited with the COVID boom, and thought, oh my gosh, all these people are smoking more cigars, and we're going to see this uptick, and it's not going to go away. We've brought in all these new smokers. Well, it has gone away. It's dropped back off, and the little dirty secret that none of these companies are talking about is, you know what? Like, the vast majority of them have laid off 50% of their rollers because they don't need all those rollers anymore. They're sitting on a glut of cigars that have been rolled for years, and aging rooms are full of cigars because they hired a bunch of rollers to make product during that COVID boom. And now they don't need these people, so they've let them all go. And I don't know. It's an interesting time. I'm going to be watching import numbers pretty closely too, because
So
but that's a whole different side thing too.
So this was a conversation that happened this past weekend regarding Cuba. So we're closer than ever to have that. And so I asked the Newman brothers, like, what will this do? Will this be, like the new awareness and be able to use their tobacco? I mean, granted, you know that Cuba is buying leaves from Nicaragua, Dominican Republic. They're taking that in because they don't have the infrastructure.
Exactly.
And that was a big thing. And so they said, it's going to take a generation for them to get their tobacco fields back up to, they're just being drained. They're not using fertilizer. They're just doing, their techniques are still, it is what it is. So I think it'd be interesting to see that incorporation of the Cuban, stuff. And probably Dave will have his "Do you have any Cubans?" cigar come back. So,
Yeah. Well, it all but you touched on it right there. You just said it's going to take a generation, and it is for a lot of different reasons. Like anybody who thinks that the minute like Cuba, like if something were to happen and suddenly Cuba were to open up and we were able to theoretically, legally get Cuban cigar, we're not going to see Cubans for a very long time. They're committed right now
going to China.
going overseas, exactly. But then on top of that, you're right, their infrastructure is decimated and nowhere near what it needs to be. And I think before it's all said and done, I don't think we're gonna see in the United States Cuban cigars like we think we're gonna see. I think what we're gonna see more than anything is Cuban tobacco being used as an ingredient in other cigars. I think that's the more logical future play for all of these cigar makers.
Yep. And you mentioned
Now,
it's all going to Europe and everything, but they're running out. That's why you see at that German show, all the New World companies are going over there because it's an opportunity over there, to do that.
And China's growing tobacco because they got to supplement in order to help and everything. And Now, let's be real. Again, anybody who thinks that there aren't companies out there right now using Cuban tobacco as an ingredient, come on. There's a few. So, anytime I see undisclosed blend, I'm like, okay, I'm not saying that it is, but it definitely leads to the inevitable question. So, I don't know. Anyway, what else?
Because there's so many other ways that they could get it. I don't want to go down a deep, but it was a big topic of discussion.
Suddenly this is the most listened to episode in government, offices and everything. It's like, oh, what are they talking
three
about?
schmucks talking about Cuban tobacco like we know anything,
exactly.
but you kind of see it. But
just watch this right here. This is what we call Exhibit A in the international court case between Habanos SA and the U.S. Trademark Office.
Yeah. All of a sudden, Shawn's taking a jumper flight to D.C. for be deposed. What do you know, Beaudry? I don't know shit.
Such schmuck, sitting in Michigan,
Yeah. I live in the UP. That should tell you enough about my intelligence.
Oh, God.
How much snow did you end up with?
Oh, so our airport was closed down because we got 5 feet of snow. 5 feet with 60-mile-per-hour winds, which caused drifting. We were shut down for 4 or 5 days out there. And then we're in town where I am. We got, I don't know, between 3.5, 4 feet of snow. Front end motors.
I got about 35 minutes of a decent thunderstorm, like rain, out of that storm.
Yeah.
I woke up Monday morning and was supposed to fly down to Florida, and my flight had been canceled and moved to Tuesday. And I'm like, what the fuck? It's fine outside. And then I realized the whole north and east is shut down and screwed over. And I'm like, well, what does that impact me? But it does. But it's like, damn it, So
at least you had it. Yeah. I was trying to get back to Marquette right before in between the two storms. We got one storm that had a foot, and then the other one, came afterwards. But we threaded the needle. We had to fly into Appleton, rent a car, and then come back here. So it was crazy, but it's like, shit. I should have just stayed there, but oh well. It is what it is. Took this. Yeah.
All right. So before we move on to other things, I want to ask: does anybody have anything more on PCA? We keep going down rabbit holes.
Yeah, we do, but that's what the show's about. It's conversations that you're having. So, I guess the other thing I was surprised that there was. McAllister has been coming out with stuff regularly, but they've been doing test sizes for different shops. I know, Smoke Inn down in Florida got a special size, and then Two Guys got a special size. So I mean, they're just kind of, you're looking at line extensions, which
Yeah.
is fine. Going back to these bigger, either, I know how you love box press, or soft box press and everything. So, but I don't mind them. And for the price differential, it's a good deal. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Danny?
Well, I'm out of other stuff because one of the big things I noticed and something I'm looking forward to about PCA is that so I watch every episode of The Pulpit and every episode of the Cigar Authority. So those are the brands I know. And I realized as I'm looking at this sheer number of brands, and every time I go to the humidor, I'm always like, let me get something else. But when I'm starting to see all these names and lists, it's like, I'm realizing I really just don't know a lot of these places, a lot of these companies. And so I've got kind of a narrow view of the industry that it doesn't really matter, I guess. I buy cigars that I like, but it's going to be really interesting to me to see the whole thing, like all in that one spot. I'm really excited for that. And so it also means that like I could find something interesting in every press release because there's so many that I don't know about already. Every time I read anything, it's going to be fascinating.
No, there's definitely a lot. It's just a matter of like how like distribution and their reach. Like we were talking about DBL earlier, and it's like we didn't know about it, and it just wasn't something that you encounter. I mean, I know what I see in my narrow little area, and when I go out and about, what I see and that sort of thing. But there are some brands that are very regional, and maybe they're coming to the show to try and branch out of that little region or something like that. So no, there's definitely tons to explore that's new that, maybe you hadn't encountered before. I know there was a lot of that for us last year. I think last year, I kind of felt like last year it was equal parts overwhelming and very, very busy getting the work done. But I think, I don't know. I'm hoping to have a little bit better of a control over that. But every time I say that before a trade show, be it either TPE or the one time at PCA, inevitably, I'm scrambling at some point, saying like, I haven't gotten this person and I need to, that sort of thing. So I'm hoping we can get that under control. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned it on the last show, like Dunbar Tobacco. I mean, he makes a lot of cigars, a lot of individuals, single releases, but they're red meat lovers. I mean, it's kind of I don't know, not a niche brand and everything, but that's a great cigar that doesn't get talked about much.
Boy, I'll tell you, down in, for obvious personal reasons, I've been spending quite a bit more time down in that east coast of Florida, St. Augustine kind of area and Palm Coast and whatnot. And I'll tell you, that red meat lovers is all over the fucking place down there, and people are eating it up.
They are. Those ones, every time I find one, I pick one up.
Yeah.
By the way, just in case anybody's curious, I did I did finish my Davidoff Puro Dominicano, and it was good. Medium, I'd say a nice medium to it. I also don't know with it being perfecto. I don't know if I clipped off enough at the end, so like my draw was perhaps a little tight. But in all fairness, these literally arrived via UPS today. I have not even given them any humidor time, so for what it's worth, I don't know. I'm going to give them some humidor time and let them chill. But I have just broken out and fired up a Rojas statement. And so
another one we don't talk about much. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's another really good brand that I tend to like all of his stuff that I try. And yeah, it just kind of falls under the radar slightly.
For me on the Rojas, anyways, I think it's because he's the king of the small ring gauge. So those are going. I mean, so it's they're very flavorful, very good.
Yes.
Across the board. I mean, he's
Dude.
really got into the street tacos and everything, which is
I like the street tacos and what is it? The blue bonnet.
Blue
I think it's
bonnets.
the blue bonnet. I'm with Dave, and the Lanceros make my fingers look fat. But by God, the blue bonnet Lancero is lights out, an amazing cigar. Like if you're gonna get it, that's the size I would recommend for that one.
The Lanceros. Chris from Seattle came out, and he had a box of the original Cigar Authority Lanceros. He had the 3 different color boxes in that, and he goes, "Hey, we were all here for I forgot what year, 12th year, whatever year it came out." And so we all sitting around with Lanceros, smoking them and that. But it was very generous and everything. But and it was a good cigar. You just forget about it, because. And it lasted an hour,
No, exactly. It's a good smoke. I still have my box in there. I mean, there's maybe a couple taken out of it. So, I only bought one box of it, but I have I have 2 of the gloves with the fat fingers in there, So I have some of the, I have one wrapped, still sealed box of World's Strongest chilling in there.
That's coming. I don't know. It's coming back out as a regular production.
Oh, look at you. Breaking news. Hopefully Dave doesn't break your knees for talking about it.
All right. Yeah. Well, hey.
You heard it first, folks.
That was one of the first things. We were talking. I mean, it was like, that was probably the best limited edition that you ever came out with. I mean, it's not like you can't make it again. It was really good. And
yep.
And so I think that's going to be coming out. I think, rumor has it, but that'll be coming out. And then what was the other lead? Speaking of limited edition,
Dave has between now and August, or he has between now and April 17th to announce it. Not that he knows this or anything like that, but
yeah. But he did hand out the other the cow one.
The milk related one.
Yeah. So I mean, $10 cigar. It was good. Very unique packaging. Good cigar, lasted. So I think that'll sell pretty good.
60 ring gauge, right?
But it's a soft box press.
Okay, so it feels slightly smaller than a 60 is what you're saying.
Yeah, I didn't feel overwhelmed because the soft box press, but it was very. I almost felt like a Padron, because it was a little tighter, So, but the story on this, just to give you a little heads up, or not heads up, but a kind of interesting story. His mom put together all the milk cartons and packed all the cigars. She's like 90 years old.
I was going to say, his poor 90-something-year-old mother is packing cigars and putting together the milk cartons.
Yep. So
that's what gives it the special flavor there.
What was that? I'm sorry.
It's the sadness, the tears of making your elderly mother work. That's what makes it's like a blood diamond. The only thing you really care about is that someone suffered for it, right?
I thought we could have made this such a sweet moment. The mom coming in and pitching in and helping, but no, we're gonna call it a blood diamond cigar.
Dave's sweatshop, But I mean, she is the sweetest lady, and
she is just very nice.
I mean, she made that limoncello that time for everybody. I mean, that was you were there.
I was not there for that. Trust me, I would have remembered that because I've heard them talk about the limoncello a billion times, and I've never had the limoncello.
It was so good, but
although I think the recipe is in the cookbook, if I recall.
Yeah, it's grain alcohol.
That would require me to make that, and that's not going to happen. That's the funniest thing. I bought that cookbook and I'm like, I am the last person that's going to go in the kitchen and make something. And yet I own a freaking cookbook. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah. So the book part, it came up this weekend also. So that Dave, of course, can't have any downtime, had a trivia question. And that was some of the questions. What was Ed Sullivan's recipe?
It was a
Do you
carrot
remember?
cake, I believe.
Carrot cake, yep. And what was Mr. Jonathan's, and everything. So
Oh,
it
that I
was.
don't know. I can't. Was his
I
a
can't.
meatball?
I don't remember even after they told us the
It's
answer.
in on the
So I put
bookshelf. I
down.
don't know. So
I thought he made a Chinese dish called "Come with Something on Mine," but
oh my god. Anyway,
yeah,
I'm looking forward to PCA. This will be good.
yeah.
I will say with my flight down being literally the day after tax day, I'm very much looking forward. I'm going to be packing a box of sandwich-sized Ziploc bags. And if you don't think I'm not going to be stealing from that breakfast buffet at our hotel, then I got another bit of news for you there, buddy. I'm going to be like, yoink, yoink. That's going to be feeding me all day long, okay? Because, yeah. The budget is going to be extra tight this year. Federal government got their claws in me pretty good. They got to buy more. They got to buy more missiles. We need more missiles. So, I get it, but still, anyway.
Just to let Danny know for the food at the convention center, it was, I don't know, not the greatest.
It's stupid expensive and not the greatest.
Yeah. What was that?
But there are a lot of places within walking distance of the convention center that you can leave, walk, grab a really great lunch, and get back in not much time at all. Like we went to that one bar or whatever and had lunch that day, and that was fucking great.
Definitely do that again.
And that was 2 blocks away, if that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the nice thing with our hotel being where it is. We're not staying in one of the PCA approved, block hotels and everything like that, but it's within 2 blocks of the convention center. Dude, there's so many places right around us that truthfully, last year I got there, took my car from the airport to the hotel, and I didn't get in a car again until I took the car back to the airport. It was all within walking distance. And at no point did I ever feel the need to go elsewhere for anything. It was perfect. So it was really good. And there was that steak place across the street that you and I had dinner.
Yep. Yeah. Which wasn't, I didn't think was terribly expensive. It was Argentine beef, whatever I got that was overcooked, but I mean that was a nice atmosphere.
You got the wrong thing. Because they roasted yours. My filet was really good though.
Oh, I'm glad. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
And that Mexican place was really good too.
The tacos. First night. That first night, the tacos. Yeah, that was good. That was good.
Yeah.
There was one place that we were gonna go, but I don't think we did. Or maybe there were 2. They had 2 locations, and we went to one, but not. I don't fucking know. Anyway, I don't.
Well, and you got to remember too. I mean, the big standout was the opening party in the park.
Mm-hmm.
With the food, the music, and I mean, they just rolled out everything. So
I'll tell you though, watch the oysters. There were some people that had oysters there, and I have been told over the last year that not everybody that had the oysters, but a decent percentage of people that had the oysters really regretted having the oysters.
Look, so the oyster defies you to eat it. It's in a shell. It's half a bite each one, and it makes you sick about at least 20% of the time. I'm always good on that one.
I'm not a seafood guy. So when somebody's like, "We have oysters over there," I'm like, "That's awesome for you,"
Yep.
So I didn't do that, but you're right. The food was good. I had that. That's what I had, that fried green tomato po' boy.
Yep.
And that was delightful. That was super good. I enjoyed the hell out of that. You and Paul, I think, were hitting up that food line pretty hard, if I recall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're bite size, and it's like, oh, I want to try the gumbo. I want to try the poor boys. I mean, they had like 3 or 4 different ones. I think I stuck to the roast beef, and then the oysters. I mean, I didn't get sick, but they were Rockefeller. They were already cooked in
I'm
season.
truly hoping that we get the same kind of weather that we got last year this year, because it was beyond perfect last year.
77, no humidity. It was
It was wonderful. So if we can get that again,
I can tell you guys that in Shreveport right now, it's pretty hot. Like today, it was like 85, but we're away from the coast. So things are looking good so far.
I'll tell you, it was warm here today too. Like, let me bring up my weather and just look. It got to 83 here today, but there was like no humidity and there was a breeze and it was wonderful. If we could get, I'd be happy with that. Humidity is the problem. Despite
They
my
might
weight
have
loss,
some of that down in New Orleans.
I am still a man of size. So, humidity and I don't get along that well. So
we got to a high of 37 today. And
I feel so bad for you.
Yeah.
You bring it on yourself, but I feel so bad for you. I was texting with your wife trying to convince her to convince you to move. It's like, you guys, it's like, I know it's pretty there when it's nice, but fuck, you got to deal when it's not nice. And when it's not nice, it is just abysmal.
I'm going to come to his defense on this one because for those 4 months that it's livable, it's really great.
But then there's the 6 months that it's not.
Yeah, it's 6 months and 6 months. And you wonder why I travel?
Some people. Yeah.
Be like Danny and have a house up there that you just go to periodically.
Well, that's right.
Whenever,
that's right.
Yeah.
Whenever I fancy it.
Yeah. So, anyways, it is what it is. We travel, and because we can't decide where we want to winter, so that's our biggest search right now. We know it's not going to be Florida. We know it's I don't know, but we'll figure it out at some time. But
I understand. See, I always hear that San Diego is so nice, like all year long. The problem is it's in California.
And how are you going to afford that?
Well, there's that too. But that kind of also goes back to my point of it's in California. So, you got that problem. All right. Well, let's move on and do this now.
It's time for the Villiger Cigars Entertainment Report, brought to you by Villiger. Villiger Cigars, one of the leading cigar and cigarello manufacturers in the world, founded in 1888 and still family-owned and operated. Head over to VilligerCigars.com and check the store locator to find a shop near you that carries them. We guarantee that Villiger Cigars will be a wonderful addition to your humidor and cigar rotation.
All right, guys, so what you been entertained by lately?
Go ahead, Shawn.
Oh, what I've been entertained by. So this is for Brett up in Boston or up in Massachusetts. He always loves our Bridgerton talks.
I know he posted about that. I did see that he posted about that. I have not watched the 4th season yet. Okay. I have not been motivated to watch the 4th season yet. And I don't know. I don't know. I did see that the 5th season there has been some kerfuffle because I guess there's a gender swapping situation to where like one character is now a woman and they're making it like a homosexual relationship whereas before it was not. And so so that's coming. That's coming in the next season, buddy.
Okay, Brett, you have a couple months here to get caught up so that you can be a part of the conversation. He gave me so much shit. Oh my God. And then of course I keep bringing it up, because, the conversation around the fire pits and everything is, hey, what are you watching? What's good? And everything. So, and of course, I'm like, well, have you watched Bridgerton? Oh yeah. Me and my wife watch it all the time.
Right?
And,
there's a lot of guys that have watched it.
Just stewing.
There's a lot of guys that have watched it. They won't necessarily admit it, but they've watched it. And it's like, it's not quite as bad as y'all think.
I had to do that for Brett. We're finishing up
real quick. One little point on that. So I have found, and maybe it's just me, I enjoy the show. It's fine. I don't hate it. But when I'm watching an episode, I know that it's only an hour. But for God's sakes, that hour feels like it takes 8 hours to get through. Have you noticed that? Like you're watching it and you're like, man, a lot has happened. I bet this episode's almost over. And you pause it to see how much you still got left to go. And it's only been 20 minutes and you've still got 40 minutes left to go. And you're like, oh my God, it's like, I don't know what it is about this show and the way it does it, but like it makes an hour take forever to go by.
You're really selling this show.
But see, that's the thing. It's not, on one hand, I guess it's not a bad thing because you're getting a lot packed into an episode. But on the other hand, I guess I could see where that could be a criticism. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. Do you feel that way or is this just me?
No. I was just going to say, I usually pause it. It's like, oh, this should be almost over. We have 10 more minutes or whatever. And we're only 20 minutes in because I don't know. Is it because it's more dialogue? And I don't know. They did a really good job with the writers and the storyline and everything for that. So, but I did not want to go into Bridgerton. I just did that for the sake of Brett. So I finished the American. Good cigar. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the Florida sun-grown leaf. I've had different variations of it and everything. I'm glad he's trying to grow tobacco in Florida, but the way they blended it, it's a delightful little cigar. So I'm going to switch over to the Rocky Patel Black whatever it is called.
How many people do they have rolling that now? Because when I went down there forever ago, it was like 3, I think.
Yeah, they're up a little bit. They went, what was it? I think they have maybe 6. They may have doubled it. I think it's like 6 because we came on. There was, I think, 3 or 4 that were bunching and putting them in the vices and everything. And then they had us, and I don't think they were doing the American, but it's the only American part or the alt part of that group there, and they were doing some other cigar that day, but we ended up having to do rolling. So I have a new respect to the rollers. All my cigars look like Toscanos, but my big old mitts, I'm trying to roll it, and it's like the wrapper kept on up tearing, and it's like, yeah. So Marlene had a nice progression. Her first one, horrible looking, and she's left-handed, so they had to do a special instruction on how you had to do it reverse and everything. So she had a nice progression of getting better and better. But I was offered a job as a roller there. But
really?
I politely declined.
You were good enough to actually be offered a job.
No, I think you were just looking for help. Well,
they're like, well, shit, we see this guy everywhere, so we know he's invested in the industry. So
yeah, that's true. But another, if you like history and everything, is a show about. It's called on Netflix, Death by Lightning. It's a James Garfield story.
Okay.
From 1890, whatever, and it's about he was assassinated in his first term and everything, and
the president,
the President Garfield, So it was a kind of a story on the guy that assassinated him, and he didn't want to be president, but he gave such a great speech, and all of a sudden they were going for the vote, who's going to be the candidate and everything, and anyways, it's a really good story, and it has some really good actors in it, so. That was good. I think we have half an hour left. It's only like a 4-part series, so you're not really dedicated a long time in that. And then, what is it? So Marlene, her thing is to read books, and then at night she'll read to me. So, anyways, it's kind of lazy. It's kind of like book on tapes, but what is it? The Glitter Ball Town Murders. I guess there's something on one of the channels on it, like a docu-series and everything, but she's reading the book to me, and it's just kind of interesting about Louisville, Kentucky, in this like old section where there's a murder and all the weird things that happen in that town. So that's what we've been watching, and then just trying to keep keep up on the podcasts and stuff. So that's been kind of my entertainment, I guess. So and then now, since I've been off so much, I've been working nights at the airport, so I have to catch up on that. And then also next month, because before we go to PCA, we're going out to Long Beach and staying on the Queen Mary. Marlene's father, took that's a boat. It's a hotel now, basically.
Yeah.
So he took in World War II over to Europe. That was one of the main troop transport. It was the Queen Mary because it launched right before World War II. And so we're going to spend some time there. And so I'm basically going to be away from home for 2 weeks in April. So I'm getting caught up. So
there you go. All right.
Yeah.
Danny?
Well, as far as things like TV go, I have a toddler. So it's Bluey. It's Bluey all the time.
I get that. I get that.
I will admit, Bluey is a phenomenal show.
It is. It's surprisingly a good one.
When you see that same episode for the 15th time, it starts to get a little bit tiresome. But I know. But it's all right. But that's a big one. But
did you see the crossover with Mickey Mouse Clubhouse?
I did not.
There was like a little deal, and like somehow or another, Mickey ended up in the like little opening, and so they're doing the little like name off and dance and everything like that, and then all of a sudden it's like Goofy, and like Goofy's dancing, and then like Donald comes in, like Donald, and eventually it ends, and it's like Bluey, and then it's but yeah, it was like the two, yeah.
I haven't seen that one yet, but
okay.
That's between that, I'm trying really hard to get her into the cartoons that I liked as a kid. So I was a 90s kid. I was watching the Nicktoons. So watched a little bit of like Our Real Monsters, Rugrats. None of it's not really sticking, but the one thing that has stuck are the early seasons of The Simpsons. Like she hears the theme song and she starts like dancing to it and everything. So she's loving The Simpsons. So
Simpsons I'm trying to seasons 3 through 9 is pinnacle comedy. Like I don't know if it gets better than that.
There are a handful of episodes in like up to like season 11 where I'm like, all right, they're okay, but when I'm doing my watch through it ends at like season 10, and then I'm like, that's why I stopped watching it.
Yeah,
but
and there were a few episodes in season 2 that I would kind of like put in there as well, like the one when the boys bought the Radioactive Man #1.
Oh yeah,
and everything. Like that's in there too. But like it really just goes to a whole different level with season 3, and then the one I feel like the episode where I feel like you can put a pin in it and define like this is the point when Simpsons kind of like started to like kind of was it was something with monkeys. It was like season 9, and it was like something like they had like a Jane Goodall kind of woman or something like that.
I remember that. Yep, I know the one you're talking about.
That it was, and like a gold mine or some shit like that. I don't know. Like all of a sudden, that episode when I remember that I was just like, nah, I think we've lost it. And from there, it's and then my God, nowadays I mean I can't tell you the last time I've seen a new Simpsons.
I watched the new episodes up until I was like 14 or 15.
Yeah.
And I remember the episode that did it was the one where Homer bought a windmill. And I was like, okay, you know what? This isn't even funny anymore. This is just preachy. But
I don't even know.
Anyways,
that one, okay.
it was like a season 17, 18 or something like that. I don't know. But anyways, between those, the other thing obviously I'm all caught up on all the podcasts, but there's one in there that I can add, which is the stick figures. So I don't know how many of us are out there, but I've listened to all the stick figures podcasts with Jacob Pyle in there. So
I know the stick figures.
I learned about it from you guys, because it was Jacob is one of he calls into the show.
Boots.
It was Boots. Yeah, that's it. That's the guy. They're on episode like 63, I think.
Awkward.
Drops on Thursday. So
you're right. That's that's their show.
So,
holy shit. Okay. All right.
Yeah. So, anyways,
sorry, Boots. That was awkward.
Well, listen, I'm giving them the shout out. So they got somebody out here. I'm caught up.
I'm glad you did, because I'm like, oh God. I'm like, oh shit, that's Boots.
See, I know him as Jake.
dude.
But
Him going through that McDonald's drive-through and telling them like that he's got the like what is the PTSD or whatever to like get, and he has to or the anxiety or whatever, he has to get the boot shapes, and I'm like, oh my fuck, yeah.
What I found so funny about that is that he was saying he had OCD.
That was it. Sorry.
His backstory was so flushed out. I was like, well, he must be actually OCD to do it this in depth. Like he did so much effort into that.
Yeah.
And
he just lied through his teeth and got a box. And the fact that they had to like open up other packs of McNuggets to make that pack I was just like, oh my God, I cannot believe they did this for him. And
now that's
none of my McDonald's around here would have ever considered that. And they would have taken my pennies.
That's right.
Yeah. Right. Oh, no, that's funny.
So the McNuggets are there. There's
how many shapes?
Yeah.
There's the boots, the rounds, the diamonds, and the kidneys. So I think there's 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But for whatever reason, I always thought it was funny to just be like, I want a 20-pack of McNuggets, all boots. And my God, Jacob did it. And
he got him.
So he's forever boots now. Because, and that's how a nickname is earned, damn it.
Okay, T-Bone.
I just want that for the record for those people out there in pulpit land that maybe remember somebody who decided to give himself a nickname. That's neither here nor there. Neither here nor there. Anyway, yeah. Okay. Well, all right then. All right. Well, fun times. Fun times. Oh shit. Well, gentlemen, I've enjoyed this. I'm looking forward to PCA. This is going to be a good time. We'll have the fun times around the fire pit again. It'll be nice. And Lord knows who we'll meet. I wonder if we'll be jamming out to as much Creed this year.
There was a bachelor party, so probably not.
Dude, in all fairness, if I'm there, yeah, you will be. I mean, it's Creed.
Dude, I don't know what it was, Danny. Last year, fucking every night we're out there, it's like all of a sudden somebody is just blasting Creed in the like little courtyard area. And it's just like, I'm like, what is up with this? Like out of nowhere, Creed is like just dominating the music choice at this hotel. And it's very interesting. So
it's a band that you can hear anywhere and just be okay with it.
I also have to wonder if oh my God, if the hotel is going to be as cool with us sitting around that fire pit having as many cigars when they remember how many cigar butts ended up in that fire pit at the end of the night. I think you were pretty good about policing up stuff out of there, right?
Yeah. It's like, okay, let's be respectful to the area.
Well, I think the problem was, I think people thought that they would get thrown in there and just burn up. But the problem, it's a gas fireplace, or fire pit.
Gross.
And so, like, if you're not putting it directly on a jet, which the odds of that are very slim, you're not going to end up getting it to where it like burns away, And so, yeah, I remember in the mornings we'd go out there and we'd look in there and it's just fucking, and it obviously wasn't, all us, but like it was a lot of people smoking around that thing, and yeah, it kind of got a little unsettled. So
I'll bring the ashtray too.
Yeah, some sort of ash receptacle. Ashes, yeah. I don't really think were necessarily the issue. It was the butts that were the issue, I think.
It'll be a place to put the butts. That's all.
Just a Lowe's bucket would do wonders.
I feel like it's harder to travel with the Lowe's bucket is all I'm saying.
You're driving though, aren't you? You can travel with whatever you want.
That is true.
Okay, so
you come walking in the hotel with a Lowe's bucket, people are going to be like, what is that guy up to?
Danny's in charge of lighters, like a rubber ashtray for outside, and then a Lowe's bucket or a milk bucket. I don't know in Shreveport if you have cows, just grab a milk bucket.
Actually, you just said the rubber ashtray, and I have so many of those silicone ashtrays around here. I ought to see if I can like pack one of those in my bag because that can.
I can tell you, I don't have any of those, so you guys are going to get whatever ashtray I grab. I mean, thankfully after a few years, you wind up with enough where they're sitting in drawers, so
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
don't
Yeah.
really care what happens to them.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing too, is the people you meet. So you have all these cigar shop owners, across the United States. We had whatever that one distributor from England, from Isle
Yeah,
of
the
Man.
Isle of Man. Yeah,
Yep.
that's right.
So-
There was the group of folks from there.
Yeah, and the cats, they have the cats with no tails. Not a bobcat, but it's house cats. That was what they're known for there.
That
the-
motorcycle racing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what was it? The people from Texas that had the high dollar shop in what's that one oil town? Anyways, they were a lot
Yeah.
of fun.
There was that
Yeah.
guy from Florida that was opening up
Building-
the shop in the liquor store or whatever it was.
Oh, and I was just
I don't
I should
remember.
have swung
He
by
was just down in Tampa. Yeah.
Yeah, I should have drove by, but they wanted $50 a night to park your car. So it was like we just took an Uber, because
Yeah.
everything was there and have it sit around.
Truthfully,
So-
I had briefly contemplated the idea of driving down instead of flying down, because I think it's like right around like a 10-hour drive for me. But part of my hesitation of doing so was how much is it going to cost for me to park my car at this hotel? And then the other little bit of concern that I had was when I looked at the map, it was very clear St. Louis to Memphis, but then Memphis, it's just straight Mississippi country all the way down to New Orleans. And I'm like, what am I driving through? Am I driving through nowhere?
I can tell you actually, I've made that
Okay.
exact drive a bunch of
Okay.
times, and it's a lot of trees. That's really it. It's a lot of trees. It's a random truck stop here and there.
Okay.
And
what I
that
was
is it.
wondering. That's what I was
mean-
wondering. Because I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, what happens if I need gas? Am I even near any? Because I'm looking at Google Maps and I'm like, man, there are like no towns. What happens if in the middle of that I need gas at some point?
There's plenty of those, but I mean, I understand not driving there. I mean, even so for me, even in Louisiana, it's still a 6-hour drive to New Orleans for me.
Yeah.
But I'm not about to fly from Shreveport to New Orleans. That's silly. But
Well,
and,
I'll tell you what's fucking silly is me flying St. Louis to Orlando and then Orlando to New Orleans because apparently we can't get a direct flight from St. Louis to New Orleans, but that's neither here nor there.
that sounds right. Why would anyone want to fly between those two major cities?
I swear to God. And dude, and the worst part is it's like I land in Orlando at 5 minutes to 9. I leave Orlando at 5 minutes to 10, but then I land in New Orleans at 10 minutes to 11 because of the time change and whatever. And it's just I'm spending so much time on a plane and I hate flying. I know you work for the airlines there, Shawn, but I hate flying.
I will say
choices.
Yeah.
My least favorite thing is airports. And I don't mind the flying. I don't mind being on the plane. I don't mind the time it takes. I hate every single step of the airport though.
Yeah.
It's like they manufactured the most miserable place on earth.
It's right there.
I have strong opinions, obviously.
I don't mind small
Like what-
airport. Like Jacksonville is a very easy
Yeah.
airport for me to get in and out of. But Orlando is the 7th level of hell trying to get through that. And then you got the tram that takes you from security to your gate and blah, 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 and all this and whatever. And then you inevitably get assigned to the gate that's clear on the opposite end of the hallway from where you are. So now you got to trudge your way through that. And I don't like it. I don't like it. Although I will say, this last time coming home, I was concerned about TSA security because that was the big to do. I made it through TSA in less time than it took me to get through the line at Starbucks to get a drink. So, for what it's worth, TSA was more efficient than Starbucks.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, they're all getting paid now. So, I mean, they did lose a lot of people, but it's basically major cities,
Yeah.
that are having the issue. I mean, David and them flew out of Boston, no issues. We flew out. I mean, I was the only one in the TSA pre-check line when we left Tampa. So,
yeah.
So
I've heard that New Orleans had some issues, but I'm hoping that by the time we get down there, that'll be cleared up. Now, I guess the only thing we have to worry about is whether or not they have fuel for the planes.
We're not going to Cuba.
Dude, I was looking at the news, and they're talking airlines are concerned about that. So I know. It's one thing after another, I swear. Anyway, all right, well, gentlemen, I appreciate your time. This has been fun, and I look forward to our trip. So by the time everybody hears this, we'll be down there and partying already. So, we'll
really partying. Is it partying or is it just
kind of partying?
It's good conversations. It's just reuniting with a lot of people.
It's work party. It's good.
That sounds like a party to me.
That's what I'm saying. It's good. Okay. It's fun times.
Well, yeah, so. you were Blue Clues or Bluey.
Yeah,
I guess that's
compared to Bluey. I'll take this any day.
What did I see somewhere? They were talking about how every generation has a blue dog that comes along to help and save them, and like we had Blue's Clues, or the prior was Blue's Clues and Bluey, and there was other ones, and I can't remember them now. But like it was kind of funny to look at it. It's like every generation has like a blue dog that it's like, yeah, I mean, there's Huckleberry Hound. He's a blue dog.
Oh, there you go.
Trying to remember. There were other ones, and I don't remember them now off the top of my head, but they were like, but when they named it off, I was like, son of a bitch, they're right. Through the generations, we had blue dogs. So anyway, all right, something to think about. So, all right, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yep, anytime.
And I really want to thank Shawn and Danny for taking time out of their day. I greatly appreciate it, and I really appreciate them coming down to New Orleans to help me out with PCA. I mentioned it in the last show that there is a cost, there's a financial outlay on their part, between hotel and, in Shawn's case, I was going to say flights, but never mind, Shawn. There's an outlay to these guys to do this, and while I realize it's not a cigar event that they can just randomly decide to go to under normal circumstances, there is still something to it that they have to do. And so I greatly appreciate them not only volunteering their time to help me out, but also coming and everything else. So it's greatly appreciated, and I'm looking forward to hanging out around the fire pit at the hotel, having cigars and chatting with those guys. So anyway, we got that going on. Well, guys, I am available on Facebook at, Instagram. Sorry. I'm available on Instagram at The Cigar Pulpit. I'm on Facebook where we have the Pulpit Parishioners group, and you can jump in on the group. It's a private group. You can jump in on that and come in and share what you're smoking and get to know everybody, and it's a good time, and I make a lot of show announcements in there. I'm on Twitter/X. You can watch us on YouTube and Rumble. I do the Wednesday drive time reviews every Wednesday at 7 a.m. Central Time. Those go live on YouTube, Rumble, and TikTok. So if you want to check out what I'm smoking and get a short form cigar review, maybe there's not enough cigar content in the show that you need more, so you can go and check out a cigar review every Wednesday over on my video channels. And then I need your calls for Ask the Pulpit. You can give me a call on the hotline at area code 863-874-0000. That's 863-874-0000, or Tofu Pie with no E, 0000. And finally, if you are not subscribed to the Cigar Chronicle, I don't know why, but you can head on over to cigarpulpit.com. A little pop-up box comes up. You can put your email address in there, and you will be signed up for the Cigar Chronicle, which is my monthly newsletter. It has all kinds of cigar information and news and updates, and we even have a review and all kinds of fun stuff in there. So head on over there and sign up for the Cigar Chronicle. I promise I won't blow up your inbox. You'll get 1, maybe 2 if something really big happens. But 1 email a month from me, and it'll be fun. It'll be good. So anyway, well, guys, thank you so much for taking time out to listen. I hope you are as excited about our PCA coverage as we are about going to do it. And we will be back with you on Friday, where I will have an Ask the Pulpit episode. And then next week, on Tuesday, I will be joined by Mike Brinker, where we talk about, well, you know what? I'll just leave that be. I'm going to be joined by Mike Brinker next Tuesday. And then after that, will be all things PCA. So, guys, thank you so much for taking time out. This has been another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. Everybody stay safe and stay smoky. Have a good one, guys.